Celsius energy drinks.
All right, good morning. Let's see, the Red Sox over the Nationals 10-3 yesterday. They'll play again today at 1:35. According to Gary Washburn, the Celtics and Damian Lillard have some type of interest there. We'll see what happens there. Joe, what happened with the Revs? Do you know?
They lost 2-1, but Messi is on deck.
Okay.
Messi next week.
All right, there it is. And in sad news, Lyndon Byers passed away at the age of 61. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Valvoline. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Leroy Irvin. Your next update is in an hour.
If you've got the app, you've got Toucher and Hardy to wake you up no matter where you are.
Or who may or may not have been to jail.
Get the app. The 98.5, the sports
Presentation here. Fighting out of the red corner.
Okay.
From Boston, Massachusetts.
Yes, sir.
6 feet tall.
Yes, sir.
Weighing in at 200 pounds.
Oh, a little bit higher than that. About 213. Pure muscle and sexiness.
Many nicknames for the man, but we'll call him Boston L.
Yes, sir.
Leroy Irvin.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
Felt like you needed that today.
I needed that. Wait a minute. What about your introduction?
I don't need one. I just show up.
So I'm the fighter, and what are you like?
I'm the hype man.
You put on the show? You're the one. What's
well,
going on?
I was Bruce Buffer there.
Okay.
Speaking of that, intros, I told Jeff to pull one up in the back.
Thank you.
But you're not into the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Oh, heck no.
So I will tell you, I didn't watch any of it. So as much as I hype it up, I forgot it even happened. I picked Mickey Sudo, to the woman, to break her 10 in a row record, so she won 11th. That was the only bet I put in. So and it won.
Okay, nice.
So I'll imagine winning 11 times, being the Glizzy King.
It makes no sense.
Or Queen in this case.
I don't understand, Joe, how people get so excited about this thing.
Betting.
Is that really just
Betting.
it? Betting.
Plus, like, you ever people love dumpster fires. People love to watch carnage, bro. This is Matt. You watch sports. People are doing things that you couldn't do at that level.
Hear me out, Joe.
That's why I'm here.
If the Glizzy Goblin contest, Nathan's hot dog eating contest went down in the wintertime, maybe the holiday season, I'd understand people staying in and let me check it out. Yesterday was July 4th. The weather here was absolutely phenomenal. What are you doing? Not even staying in, because of course you can watch things go down on your phone when you're out and about, but why?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't watch any of it. I want to watch it on Twitter. But I gave you an introduction. I just wanted to let you know the man that does the intros for the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Yeah. This MC, this guy is amazing. Let's listen to this intro for Joey Chestnut.
We are humbled by age in preparation for the great insult of death. But there are those who stand immortal, not through the grace of heaven, but through their own triumphs. I speak of this man, formed from the shards of shattered angels, wielding the white sword of righteousness, standing as quiet as truth. Ladies and gentlemen, while we must all face the dark mountain of night, forsaken and forlorn, alone in the ruins of our own minds, he will never fail or falter, for he defies the ministers of our fate and the limitations of our birth. And he will not stop until he stands side by side with the gods, his glory strung like beads of light, to adorn the arc of history itself. Joey Chestnut!
Okay.
That
Hold
guy's
up.
amazing.
Okay.
Tell me that guy doesn't rule.
All right, it was a bit extra, but amazing. I will give you that. The shards of shattered angel wings? I felt the electricity in that.
He is here today upon death.
He will not stop until he's side by side with the gods.
That's, I believe it's George Shea, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to Google that.
I am inspired.
Yep, George Shea. Yep.
Joe, I do write a lot, and I refuse to use Chat GPT. I find joy in overlooking what I've written and trying to make it better, have more meaning. This man has inspired me to go deeper.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, my God.
This is why we watch. So there's one more. Do you know who Eric Badlands Booker is?
No.
If I showed you him, you might know who he is. He's a very large man, larger than me. I think he's probably 450 to 500 pounds. This man, he is the leader in lemonade drinking. So when it comes to eating competitions, he is number one.
Okay.
When it comes to drinking lemonade.
So is this the guy who I think I saw while swiping had pink lemonade? And
That's it. Exactly. That's him. Can we hear his intro, Jeff? Because he does a rap song too.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if I just want to hear George Shea's intro though, please.
Stand down, sit down, kneel down, bend your head to the crown. Listen up, listen here. Here's a hero on a roller. Phi Beta Kappa when the Kappa's Capicola. Summa cum laude, Nobel commendatory. Catch of the day or the cacciatore.
And the first OG, double G-A-double-G, Y-F-A-C, food fighter with the flow, you can't resist. Got lyrics like lemonade.
Okay, all right. It's got lyrics like lemonade mix. I'm out. Okay. That guy though,
Yeah.
he drinks a lot of lemonade out of the biggest mason
God.
jar I've ever seen.
God.
Call him Mr. Lemonade.
Now, I know people they probably want to laugh and say, look at him up there making a fool out of himself. Joe, I really, really respect the confidence and the freedom to do that. Do you know what it takes to stand up in front of a crowd and believe in what you're saying? And you don't know how the crowd's going to react and just to do it?
We do it every day.
That's true. And maybe that's why I respect it so much.
Yeah.
Man, I think it sounded crazy, but I respect the fact that he went up there and did it.
From the darkest depths of Mordor.
My writing. I have to step it up.
Now I will tell you, it's not like you and I are just going to take a ride to wherever it is, New York.
Okay.
Where is that? New York? We're just not going to take a ride to the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
No, not at all.
You know?
No.
So you were out of town, huh?
Yeah. Speaking of taking a ride, yeah, I did. We haven't talked about this.
I know.
Me and the fiance.
The fiance.
Because I am now engaged. And
Congratulations.
My son. Thank
sir.
you so much.
And I saw the presentation.
Yes.
You got the whole family
Oh,
involved.
yeah.
She was shocked.
Oh, yeah, she was shocked. She's still in shock. She knows what's up.
She's looking at her ring every day.
Oh, yeah. And
Shining it in the car.
I'm looking at it, too. Because it cost a brother a pretty penny.
Listen.
And I want to make sure it's on that hand as often as possible.
Especially like when you go on the water or the beach. Or,
Oh, yeah, she got to take that
You got
off.
to take that off.
Take that off, please. Please.
So
But yeah, I was
so
at,
congratulations. And now you're on a high. You're just riding the cloud, baby.
I'm on a high. To God be the glory. I'll just say that. Anyways, so we went to Waterville Valley in New Hampshire. Lovely place. Oh, just really chill, laid back. My youngest son, Jordan, he came with us too, and her brother and his wife. We just had a phenomenal time. Waterville. Two things, and I'm going to get to the point. Number one, I just want to say the quality of life here in Massachusetts goes up when holiday traffic is the way it is or has been all weekend. I know if you were going to the Cape, you probably had to deal with traffic, but Joe, it's just been easy going everywhere. Once everyone got to their spot and they knew where they were going to be for the fourth, they just sat down. But if you were on the road, it was just beautiful. So anyways, in order to get to the show today, I almost missed the show. I had to leave around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning to get back here. But I almost missed the show, Joe, because a brother got pulled over. And this brings me to a question. I got pulled over for doing, 40 and a 35. I was 5 miles over the speed limit. Now, technically, I was in the wrong. I'm not going to sit here and make any excuses. I was in the wrong. But maybe y'all can help because I'm trying to figure this out. Joe, I thought there was this unwritten rule between law enforcement and people behind the wheel that you have this cushion where, you know what? You're going over the speed limit, but you're not speeding. We all know what speeding is, real speeding. Come on now. Let's say if I'm on the highway and it says the speed limit is 70. Me personally, I'll go 75. I'm the cruise control king. I'll go 75. Some people think going 10 miles over the speed limit is okay. You're not going to, the cops aren't going to mess with you. But to see that I got pulled over for going 5 miles over the speed limit, I'm starting to wonder, was I wrong all along? I thought that there was a rule.
It's probably shooting fish in a barrel this week. They're probably looking for all sorts of things, whether it's people from out of town with directionals that don't work, or so. I'll say this.
Okay.
Going 40 and a 35 would give intent to pull over. Even though you slightly went over. I agree with you. Hey, listen, you and I, we grew up on the curve, right?
Yeah.
Hey, like the cops in our neighborhood, if we weren't doing anything bad, they told us to go home or shut up, right?
Yeah.
Okay? No, in New Hampshire, what do you think the cops are doing?
I know they don't have much to do, but come on.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why we don't go other places. This is why we never left.
I don't know.
No, but I'm glad you're out there. So I have a question. So you got pulled over.
I got pulled over. Yeah.
What happened? What was the result?
So you know how they say, hey, do you know why you got pulled over? 98.5% of the time, we know why. I honestly didn't. I was like,
Good.
I was shocked. I was like,
good start.
I'm sorry, I did not.
I watch a lot of TikTok videos about getting pulled over.
First off, I pulled over. I put down the windows. I turned off the car. I took the keys and put it on the dashboard and had my hands on the wheel. I don't play. Plus, I got my son in the back. I got to be an example. And so the cop, he said, do you know why I pulled you over? He was very polite. He was very polite. And I was dead serious. No. And he said, well, I got you doing 40 and a 35. Now, his reason for pulling me over, he said he was concerned because of moose. I'm okay. But I was shocked. 40 and a 35. If I was on the highway and it said 70 miles per hour was the speed limit, and I'm doing 75, and there's a cop behind me, I wouldn't be sweating because I thought you had that 5 mile per hour cushion. Some people believe 10.
Yeah,
but I guess I don't know.
Well, I will tell you this. I could fly down American Legion Highway, right?
Yeah.
Know exactly where I'm going. Mm-hmm. But if I do that in another town, I feel as though that's intent to stop. See, where you're from, you're more comfortable driving, right?
Yeah.
Like, again, when I'm back home, I'm going down thickly settled streets at 25, 30, whatever it is. How am I getting down this with cars on both sides? Or I don't know. I've just been doing it for years, you know. But now when I live on the North Shore, I feel like I'm driving under the speed limit.
But, Joe, I've gone down 95 the entire East Coast. And that's just been my rule.
Yeah, you know what? He was worried about the moose.
I guess so.
That was the answer. I do like how when you say, hey, do you know why I pulled you over? No.
Yeah, no.
Because if you say yes, you have a right to get a ticket.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just gave me a warning, and I went on about my business. You
could have got a ticket anyway, by the way. I'm just saying that if you're like, yes, sir, I was speeding.
I just
now it's like doom. Now I got to give you a ticket.
I never thought I would get pulled over for going 5 miles per hour over the speed limit.
So were you just not paying attention, or were you just like, I can go this?
No, like I said, I'm the cruise control king, so I use cruise control. It was just that I saw Dunks, and I got a little happy, and I wanted to get to dunks a little bit quicker.
What are you going to get?
I got me a blueberry muffin, toasted with butter.
Oh, butter on the muffin?
Come on now.
Oh, I've never done that.
You
from Dunks?
Yes.
I mean, I've done it myself.
Yes, but you got to
break it open or do you put it right on the top?
They break it open and put the butter in there, and it's toasted. It's nice and warm.
I've never done that.
Yeah. So I got that, and then I got my medium French vanilla. I do 2 sugars and 3 creams. Very delicious. And then the first lady, she always asks for a vanilla bean culotta, but with oat milk.
I was going to say real quick to stop you on that. If there are guys out there right now that don't know what their girl orders, you're in trouble already.
Yeah.
So the fact that you know the order, bro?
Oh, yeah, I do.
You're ready.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready. Ready to walk that out.
You are ready. I feel like we're going to have the Macho Man, Queen Elizabeth.
Yes.
Wedding.
Coronation.
Elizabeth, will you marry me? And she goes, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Some people want us to stream our wedding. I'm dead serious. But I know. We'll talk about it.
All right. Well, our buddy Riz is on the line.
Riz.
Listen, Riz, what's up? What happened?
What's good? I'm chilling, man. You already know. First and foremost, shout out to the Twitch, YouTube fam. Congratulations, Leroy. I'm proud of you, brother.
Thank you.
You deserve it. No, I appreciate you, fam. But you know what, man? You already know I had to call in, man. You already know exactly why you got pulled over, Leroy. Stop playing, man. You already know DWB. You in the wrong state. You in the wrong town. You already know that color. 5 miles.
I know. I know. I wanted to give the cop the benefit of the doubt.
5 miles, man. Come on.
I thought
I've been through it. What's up?
I hear you, and that's why I'm like, am I tripping?
No, you ain't tripping, bro. Okay. You ain't tripping. You did the right thing. You put the windows down, take the keys out. You got to do everything in your power.
That's right.
Because you already know you in the wrong.
Yeah.
You in the wrong. You just trying to show, hey, I respect you.
Absolutely.
I respect the laws. I respect everything. I ain't trying to get shot. You know what, man? It's unfortunate that we got to think like that.
Oh no,
but you got to do that.
Yes,
you got to do that. And Joe, you can be doing 70. Mofos just look at you like, I'll keep on going. Hey, it's Joe Murray, no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, is that what it is?
Let that. You already know, Joe. Let it be Leroy. Leroy doing 5 miles under the speed limit, and he's getting pulled over, man. Hey. It's a great time, man.
He ain't lying. I'm sorry. I'm going to use bad grammar too. He ain't lying. He's not.
Hey, man, you dudes have a great day. And Leroy, man, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
The cop said, hey, I got your license. Am I going to find out that in Massachusetts you speed? I said, no. I'm the cruise control king. That's what I use. And, of course, he brought it back and said, I'm going to give you a warning. I just didn't want you to hit Moose.
Dave is in Natick. Dave.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Hey, I want to ask Leroy, did you get pulled over in a town called Compton, which is between Waterville Valley and 93?
Probably. Yeah, you probably saw me.
No, I didn't see you. I've been up there before, and they will pull you over for going 6 or 7 miles an hour over the limit. I'm pretty sure that's the only way that they have to make money in that little podunk town.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got pinched once for going 7 miles over the limit, and they didn't let me off with a warning.
Dave, last year, literally on this date, a year ago, I was coming home from Pittsburgh, New Hampshire. And right before Tilton, whatever town that was, I had my GPS Waze on, and everything just shot out. The Waze shot out, the radio shot out, and I go, what the hell happened? All of a sudden, red lights, boom. So, yeah, those small towns, I'm sure they're shooting fish in a barrel this weekend.
Yeah.
All right, Dave.
Highway.
Appreciate
Enjoy.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
Real quick, both city kids here. I do not like the White Mountain water. It's too cold. Did you go in?
So, yes, I went in. My son went all the way in. But I did go in. I thought it was cold. Even taking
it's freezing.
Taking a shower, right? Can I talk? Can we culturally?
Let's take a break.
Okay,
let's take a break. I have to be better with the clock. It's been
Okay.
That was one of my July 5th or July 4th. I had a lot of people come up to me at the beach, by the way, and say, "Hey, man, heard you this weekend." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on every night."
Yeah.
No, I only heard you this week, though. Yeah, dude, I'm on every
day.
night, dude.
Every day.
Yeah, but I heard you on the mornings. Yes, but I'm on every day, too, at night. Anyways, at the beach, it was a hit. Big hit down there this weekend.
Nice.
People saying hello. Whatever. Yes, I do want to get into some cultural things that I saw this weekend as well.
Concerning the water. You said the water.
Yes.
I just gotta.
A lot of stuff going on, not necessarily towards sports, but the Red Sox are winning. We have more on the Damian Lillard stuff today as well. Patriots camp will be heating up soon. That's what we'll be able to talk about. We'll react to anything else from the week, what's coming up ahead. And really, we're just we have both literally been tuned out, just like all of you, for the last couple of days. So we'll get reacquainted. We're here till 2 o'clock today. He's Leroy. I'm Joe Murray. Jeff Williams is here as well. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening.
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Leroy Irvin. What is that from? When someone yelled Leroy, is that like a video game?
It was a meme basically from World of Warcraft where they were about to go on a raid and the guy screamed out Leroy Jenkins.
Oh yeah. Well, so the other thing is I watched the movie Memento, and he remember how that's how he had integrated. So okay. Oh wow, you'd love that one. I won't spoil it, but it's about a former cop who had integrated amnesia. And he can remember things, but after like 2 minutes, he would forget. Kind of like the 10-Second Tom, but not as bad. And he would have to like put tattoos on his body to remember clues. Like that's how he remembered things. So he wrote Leroy.
Because I'm writing it down on my list of movies to check out.
Oh, it's so I watched that in Requiem for a Dream in the same night. And I am destroyed from it.
Requiem is a movie you cannot watch more than once.
I don't think I want to see it again. Marlon Wayans was in that.
A young Jared Leto.
And Jennifer Connelly.
Yep.
Young Jared Leto. Was it Leto? Whatever.
Leto.
Yeah. And then Shooter McGavin was in it.
That's right. He's the TV guy. She just wanted to be on television.
Oh, that movie sucks. No, it was a great movie, actually. I just don't want to, visually watch it again. Anyways, Leroy, I like the beach. I went to Long Beach for July 4th. Mom's down in Gloucester. Shout out, Mom.
Okay.
Hung out on Long Beach, which is great. And the Gloucester folk love the Sports Hub, let me tell you. So I had fun. The water was a little cold, but not, I would have went in. It was 80 degrees. It was beautiful. But when I go up north, the White Mountains, bro, I put my toe in there, and I'm like, hell no. I want to go in. You know what else I don't like? Is the rivers.
Oh, really?
Oh, they start taking you away. Get on a little tube. See ya. So I don't trust it up there. Yeah. But you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I'm a city boy, but I think deep down inside I was meant to be out in the country, in the quietness, in the stillness, the wilderness. Man, I be rhyming left and right. I don't know how I do it. But anyways, yeah, it's just I loved it. I really, 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 really loved it. You see my post of me moving the water, pushing the water? I did.
I thought you were doing some Jean-Claude Van Damme stuff.
I was just being silly, and people were like, oh, you in the, what's it called? Or something. Some yoga type. No, I was just being silly, but I love it. I love nature. That's where it's at.
So what was your cultural differences?
Well, I was going to say, yes, that water there is very, very cold. And as a black man, being ashy is my kryptonite. And because that water is so cold.
Can you explain what? Because again, it's as a white person.
Oh God.
I call it. I need to put some lotion on my body.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, me personally, I don't like having my skin dry out. Yes. I like to keep it hydrated and moist. And low key, one day I'll put my age out there, but a lot of people think I look extremely younger compared to how old I am. Some people think I'm my kid's older brother, and that's not the case. But the key is moisturizer. Anyways, back to what I was saying. That cold water, that good cold water, will dry your skin out. And I had lotion. I put some on, and it still wasn't enough. So I had to put more on. But yeah, that's all I wanted to share.
That comes from the mountains.
Oh yeah.
It's cold.
Oh, yeah.
That's still ice.
You're right.
Literally still ice.
You are. Yeah.
A couple of our people in chat, Ian Bine says that he was in East Woodstock, so you weren't far from Woodstock.
Okay.
Oh, Woodstock Inn, baby. Good, nice little time if you want to have a good time over there.
Okay.
The town of Lincoln's great. Some good restaurants. Common Man's one of the biggest ones. Then go straight down the Kangamangas, go towards North Conway. Yeah, it's some real New Hampshire living over there. Okay. Then there's the people who go to Lake Winnipesaukee.
Oh, I used to go there as a kid.
Lake Winnie?
My parents used to. Yep, our church used to take us. Oh, what a time. What a time. I got to go back.
Yeah, I was a Cape kid. Like we did the South Shore, like Marshfield, Brant Rock, all that. But the Cape's where it's at. I avoided the Cape because a couple of years ago it rained for 3 straight days and it was horrible.
Yep.
Because you can't go in the ocean if it's raining. Well, you can, but then you get wet all the time.
If the weather's not good, there's no point in going to the Cape, in my opinion. What are you doing if the weather's not good?
Well,
Nothing.
I think it's funny that you say this. I was at a cookout last week, and it's the week before. It's a Sunday cookout before the week going into July 4th. A lot of friends, and so everybody's like, "Oh, we're going down the hey, we're going down the oh, we're going up north. We're going here. We're going there." So so this one guy goes, "I hate when we go to the Cape. All everybody does is just do nothing and drink."
Yep. He's not lying.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, I guess that is what we all do. Is we do nothing. We sit at the beach all day, do nothing, and drink.
Yeah, and then you go back home just to say I went
yes,
to the Cape.
And then you might go to a local establishment, which again is just more drinking.
Right.
And yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what'd you do all weekend. Well, the weather was beautiful. Had grilled out, drank, hung out, drank.
Yep.
Took a nap, drank.
Can I give you my theory on why the Cape is? People love to say they went to the Cape so much. It's the Kennedy effect.
Oh, not for me.
No, I think it is for most people, I think
old people. Well, the Hyannisport is where they're compounded,
right? But those older people pass down that tradition to the younger ones, and so on. I think it's not as strong as it used to be. The further we get away from the Kennedy family being such a stronghold and just a family that people looked up to. Well, some people looked up to, but the further we get away from it, then that's less of a reason.
So you think white people go to the Cape because of the Kennedys?
I think most people that go to the Cape, to some degree, it has to do with the Kennedy mystique. Yes, and they may not even know
me.
It. Really?
No. I go to the Cape because it's beautiful and I love the towns.
I said most. I didn't say everyone.
Yeah, I know. And I did the go-karts as a kid and the bumper boats and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I love the beach.
Yeah.
So the water is warm. The waves aren't crazy. There's no crazy riptide. There are sharks, but you got to go deep into the Cape.
No, Joe, I get that. That's great. I said most, not all. I really do believe that played a role in it becoming such a destination spot. Even today, still today, I think low key, it just, it's getting weaker. The Kennedy stronghold on influencing people to go to Cape is getting weaker, but it was there.
That's a take.
It was there. Come on, man.
I never thought of the Kennedys. I mean, so do people go to Kennebunkport because of the bushes?
I bet you they do. But the Kennedys was something different, man. Camelot, all that. You had people in the 60s that loved them. Then the family gets hit with more tragedy in the 60s. And you know how that goes. Unfortunately, when people pass, then the mystique and the lore about them just grows even more. And everyone knew Cape is where it's at.
People in our chat, I used to go to Pirates Cove, not the Kennedys. That's true. Give me some Captain Parker's
I'm not
chowder.
saying. Wait, see, you're gonna twist my words.
I am definitely.
I'm not
twisted
saying that people.
I'm twisting it, baby.
I'm not saying people went to the Cape to say, "Oh, I want to go see the Kennedys. I want to meet the Kennedys, or I want to be like the Kennedys." But because of their celebrity and them being known to be on the Cape, especially the closer you get to their time of power, the 60s. Let's just use the 60s. Yeah, you better believe people are like, "Oh, I'm going where the popular people are. I'm going."
I just like it. I like it. A, nostalgia. B, water's warmer.
See, you said nostalgia. Why is it nostalgia?
Because it's where I went as a kid.
Oh, not because of the Kennedy.
What have you ever known about the Kennedys?
Everyone's grandmother had a picture of Jesus and JFK on the wall. And then where I'm from, Martin Luther King too.
That's true. I will say that. When I was a kid, same thing, Doug Flutie for some reason. I don't know
exactly.
Why. I don't know. But because he's from there.
Every household, I'm telling you. And think about it. We had, I'm sorry, we're supposed to be talking sports. But anyways, all right. So back in the day, the highway and all that stuff, what was it called? They tear it down and do the big dig. What do they call the main area with all the grass?
The knoll? Well,
no, not the grassy knoll. We're not talking about Dallas.
I thought you were talking about the Kennedys.
Which I got to go visit Dallas.
I did. I actually did. I went when I went to WrestleMania a couple of years ago. I saw the whole area and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I got to go. But you know what they call it?
Didn't do anything for me, but I went.
See, I would go.
No, I mean I took it in, but I was like, all right, let's go.
But they tear down the highway here and do the big dig in the area where it's all green. And the Rose who? The Rose Kennedy.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Come on, man.
Okay, Kennedy Library.
Yes.
Okay.
RFK assassination, it breaks the heart of people. JFK's assassination is still, people are still talking about it today.
Have you been to
Ted
Cape Cod?
Kennedy's?
Have you been to Cape Cod?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Where-
And part of the reason why I went, and I did go past their joint, I was just like, let me go see where the Kennedys, used to get it in. That was part of the reason.
Jeff, do you have any Cape theories?
No, I'm just laughing at Leroy saying where the Kennedys got it in.
So why do people go to Martha's Vineyard? Jaws?
I think that, yes, which was what, the 50th anniversary? I was
right.
there 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
You went to Martha's Vineyard?
Yes, I went to Martha's Vineyard.
I've never been.
Come on, Joe, get on the ferry and stop acting up.
No, it's not that. I can't afford. I stay at another place.
Get on the
Martha's in Nantucket's a little out of the night guy.
Go for the day, Joe. Stop playing around. Yeah, okay.
No, I'd love to go.
You go for the day, and it's what you want. It's kind of how I feel about Vegas. When you're married, or if you get married and you tell your lady that you're going to Vegas, they look at you funny. But you say, listen, it's what you want it to be. To me, that's the way I feel about Martha's Vineyard. You can go there and just sit and do nothing, stay in Oak Bluffs and see the same stuff that you've seen all over and over again. But bring your car, or somehow, some way, have access to a car once you get to the island and go explore. And it's beautiful.
I can't believe the amount of support you are getting on this Kennedy take.
Because it's the truth.
Listen, people are saying Leroy's absolutely right about the Kennedys on the Cape. No doubt.
Told you.
Jay McHugh checking in. Great show. I agree with the Kennedy effect. It's brought a lot of older generation.
Yep.
And then the younger generation from the oldest generation. Joe, there are sharks everywhere. Here's the app.
Yep.
Thank you.
And the further we get away, listen, you got to understand. The Kennedys here, and this is great because it is sports related too, because they were in power at when the Patriots came about and stuff. But the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s arguably were dominated here. Massachusetts, New England, the Kennedy family was dominating the landscape. Period.
All right.
When JFK Jr. passed away, it felt like we all needed to take a break. I remember that, and I was a kid. I was devastated.
You remember when JFK got...
his son. When
son.
the plane crashed. I was devastated.
I do remember that.
Devastated.
Yeah.
I had a JFK poster in my room from the JFK library. Which, by the way, I hope they fix this thing. Sorry to be going on and on.
Listen,
I remember when I went to the JFK library as a kid. I walk inside. The first thing you do is sit down and watch a movie about this guy, this president, this great. And I'm feeling all like patriotic. I'm feeling all energized. And by the time it ends, it's just a black screen, and they say, and 2 weeks later, President Kennedy was assassinated. That was too much. That was too much for a little kid. I said, what? I had no idea he had been killed. I was devastated. That was like when Optimus Prime died in the Transformers movie. What are you doing? You don't do this to kids. You're supposed to give us a warning. But yeah, then I went and got his poster. It was red, white, and blue with a big old picture of JFK's face. It said something on it, but I got that. I think I got a pen. Yeah, I'm a history guy. I love history. And the fact that the Kennedys are right here in Massachusetts. You can go to Brookline and go to the house where they were born. Yeah, that's a huge influence on getting people to the Cape.
So is that why people go to Salem, because of the witches?
Oh, absolutely.
That's why.
Come on now. It's not the only reason, but it's a huge reason why.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Brian's in Norwood. Brian?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's going on?
So one of my Norwood buddies went to college in Bowdoin, Maine, and he married his college sweetheart, and they got married up in Kennebunkport. And during the wedding, or after the wedding, when they were taking pictures on this beautiful, like, seaside cliff, a beautiful cigar boat goes by, and it actually docked and pulled up, and lo and behold, it was George and Barbara Bush. And they wanted to wish the bride and groom a happy, like, marriage and wedding. and got in the wedding pictures. And George said, I didn't even want to stop here. I just want my ice cream. And Barbara gives them all hugs and kisses, and they said, now we're going to go bring our guest to get his first lobster roll ever. And in the wedding pictures, no one even noticed Phil Mickelson, who had just won at the time, probably 20 years ago. He just won the Masters, so he was guest with the Bush. He was with them, too. So you never know who the heck you're going to see at these places.
I went to.
I just wanted to share that.
No, Brian. I went to Kennebunk last summer. On a boat. I got off the boat and a golf cart said, "Hey, this is where the Bushes live," and and then I went and got a lobster roll. So yes, that sounds pretty dead on.
Your eyebrow didn't raise and say, "Oh, they live here."
I knew they lived there.
Okay, and nothing about that you think makes some people want to go.
Just like if you go to Newport, do you see all those giant? Who lived there? Who's the famous guy that lived in Newport? All the giant houses. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But if you find your way up Lake Winnipesaukee, you might run into Vince McMahon
or Triple H. One time. That's right. So I heard that at Wares Beach or somewhere around there, they do the fireworks themselves. The Triple H and well, they pay somebody.
That's what's up.
I think from a barge. Kevin's in Rhode Island. Kevin.
Actually, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, getting ready to go to the airport. I got a question for the host.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to get in a driverless car. And I want to know if you guys would get into a driverless car.
In or out?
It's crazy.
I'm out.
They're crazy.
I'm out.
Have you done it? Kevin?
No, my first time. I'm down here at work. I'm going back to Rhode Island today, and I told my kids, I said, you won't believe all these cars with no drivers in them. So I said, I got to go on Google, get an account. Now I have a free ride to the airport. I'm going to pay for it because I want to get in one of these driverless cars. Just for the heck of it.
And how did you listen to us in Phoenix, Arizona?
I'm from Rhode Island. I'm going back there this afternoon.
No, what I'm saying is you were just waiting and you popped it on the app and listened?
I listen to you all the time, Joe. I'm a sports guy. I'm a New England sports guy. I listen to all the sports talk.
Kevin,
I
appreciate this. Hey, what are all those big houses in Rhode Island, Newport there? Well, who owns all those?
Oh, I don't know. No one famous. I think Taylor Swift just bought one, I think. I don't know. Listen, I'm a middle-class guy. I don't give two hoots about expensive car and all that stuff. I just go, I like to enjoy the beach. Joe, I got a question for you.
Sure.
When you go to Gloucester, because my wife and I go Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We go up to New Hampshire all the time, 5, 6, 7 times a year. Yeah. Where do you go in Gloucester? Is it a good place to go on a beach? Because we drive up there. We never go down.
Up to Gloucester.
We never go up to Gloucester.
You got to go to Gloucester, Long Beach. There's a little inn up there I'd recommend. And if you want a nice restaurant, I went to Blue Collar. It was fantastic.
Listen, I'll call you guys next week. Are you both on next week or no?
I think so.
So. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll call you I know you're on probably, but I'll let you know how the drive was. I'm gonna take a video of it and send it to my kids. They're dying to know.
Tweet it to me, Kevin. He has no electronics. He was talking. Did he throw a lot at us there? I heard my kids wireless Phoenix, Arizona.
There's a lot.
I've never done anything like this before.
Car.
Money, something. I'm gonna drive one. Whew. We got to go to break.
Stoked.
Uh-oh.
I'm just glad that
the Vanderbilts. The Vanderbilts.
That's right.
Thank you.
And at one point, they were the richest family in America.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Somebody sent that to me.
Joe, I know this is a sports show, and
is it?
I get it. At some point,
what is this show? No. We are now a variety show.
Okay, so if that's the case, at some point, can I give a 2-minute history class? I think there's something very, very interesting that happened in history that we should have been taught about as kids, and we never learned about it. It's phenomenal.
I was apologize. It wasn't Leroy Jenkins. It was Sammy Jenkins.
Who cares?
Oh, somebody corrected me. Well, a lot of people are listening.
Wow. Because
I am getting interactions via text, via email, via Twitter, via telephone.
Okay.
You, sir.
What? What the Kennedy take?
Just what you. No, you just breathe air and it lights up the phone line.
Please.
You know how many nights I sit here and I try to get people to call?
I'm going to say it again. The Kennedys are a main reason why the Cape is so big. You got to think, Joe, decades of them being the face of the region. Decades. Good and bad. And God knows there's a lot of bad that went on behind the scenes. I got a story about that, too. I really do.
You got a lot of stories.
I got a Ted Kennedy crying story that was not public. But anyways, I'll tell you that stuff later.
All right, well, John Cena had a famous quote
What's that?
On his Twitter. Loss can be devastating, but the true defeat is if you fail to move onward. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Damian Lillard and the Celtics potentially coming to an agreement?
I'm out. I didn't want to go gray. I didn't want to go somewhere because I am kind of, it all depends on if this or if this or if this. But
just so you know, he's not going to play this year. He won't play at all.
I think I'm out.
Okay. That's one of the news stories. Gary Washburn of the Boston Globe has that this morning. Mutual interest on both sides. So I think this is a good pros and cons debate.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably more pros, but I can see the cons. So I think we should kind of lay that out in the next hour here. I know some people wanted to get in as well. And the other team in town that everybody loves is the Red Sox, and that's where Justin and Lynn wants to go. Justin!
Hey, Joe, it's been a long time since I talked to you.
Happy 4th, buddy.
Last week, and I wasn't able to talk to you last week.
I know. How you doing?
I'm good, Joe. I just want to talk about the Red Sox. Since I last talked to you, they've gotten much better since then. And they're starting to hit and pitch well again. And I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm very positive about where they're going right now. There's probably more problems.
Yeah, dude, I got to tell you. The All-Star game's coming up. The trade deadline's coming up. The team's playing better. Should we be excited? We'll get into that coming up in a little bit. Jay is in West Roxbury. Jay.
Hey, Joe, Leroy, how are you guys? Happy 4th. Awesome show once again.
Thank you.
Leroy, spot on, my friend, simply because the Cape Kennedys, it's the fact from I think my radio's off. Hopefully you can hear me.
You're good.
Cape with the Kennedys, friends down there 30 years ago, everyone said, Jay, get me onto the compound. I had a little access. We get pushed off by the security guards, etc.
Yeah.
Now in the Lakes region, the sharks are infesting everywhere on the Cape, guys. A couple of years ago, I think Leroy and you were on talking about the Lakes region and the ice. I invited you up for a hockey pond skate tutorial. It's always an open invitation.
Oh, okay.
Again, Cape, Lakes region, two of the greatest spots here in New England.
All right. Appreciate it.
Okay. Again, I'm aware that the Kennedys were from the Cape and Hyannisport and all that. Mm-hmm. I just never associated why I go to the Cape, to the Kennedys.
I'm just asking you to put yourself to the side for a split second.
I am, yes.
Listen to this.
Mm-hmm. Should I Wikipedia Cape Cod?
Okay.
Why do people go to Cape Cod?
So JFK and Jackie O are together and they are in the White House and they call it Camelot. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's just one reason. Mm-hmm. People want to be them. 1960 to 1963 or whatever.
That people saw
absolutely
Jackie O and
yes,
Robert, and were like, yes, we want to be them. Not Marilyn Monroe.
That's part of it too.
Oh, okay.
That's part of it too. That's that high life.
You think she's been down in Hyannisport?
Yeah, I bet you she has. But people, come on, people love the drama. They love the mystery. What's going on? Speaking of which, I do real quick Ted Kennedy story. He had a event at his place, and I'm not gonna say no names, but a group of people from church went there to sing for him. And not sing for him, but there was a wedding. And once the wedding was over, Mr. Kennedy, Ted Kennedy, took this group of people into the house. He did have a few drinks. I don't think that's a mystery. He did have a few drinks, but he went around the room and started looking at pictures of his brothers who had passed and began to weep and cry and just begin to spill his guts about the burden that family has gone through. Now, some people might feel some remorse, some may not. I'm not here to debate that. I just wanted to put that out there. Once the liquor got in him, the truth came out, and he started spilling his guts. He was in pain, man. But that all plays a part in why people go to the Cape. It's getting weaker as the decades go by. I knew it was getting weak when there was a time period when every November on the date that JFK was assassinated, you could find content on television to watch about it. You could look at the Zapruder film. You could watch what. Now it's nothing. The day comes and goes. What was it? November 22nd, 1963, I believe so. And now, yes, November 22nd, 1963. Now you won't see any programming to cover the JFK assassination. I said, "Oh my God, it's starting to die down." But it took decades. Decades.
Well, my buddy Hooch is listening from Mashpee, which is on the Cape. And he goes, "This is why I go to the Cape." And then he sends me a photo of his legs crossed. And then he shows a video of the beach completely vacant. Can you hear the wind?
Wow.
And the ocean?
Yeah. Is he on a private beach?
That looks pretty private to me.
See? Yep. You know who else had a private beach? The Kennedys. See, it just all goes together.
On the dunes of the Cape. Bow. All right. Well, hey, I got to take this call because I missed him. He's Einbein, and he's in our chat. He's got a Kennedy story.
Yo, Joe.
What's up, Einbein?
How you doing, my man?
How you doing?
First of all, shout out to the Twitch fam.
Yes.
And Leroy, you're awesome. I love you, man.
Appreciate it.
So my father was in the Army, and I was born in Berlin in 1961. And my parents lived there a couple more years, and they were at the Ich bin ein Berliner speech that JFK had in Berlin, which was a huge speech because it kind of, called out the Soviet Union for their horrible ways and stuff. It was a huge piece of history, and my parents were there, which is pretty cool. So I thought you'd appreciate that story.
Appreciate it, man. This is what I'm talking about.
Well, you guys were just near each other in, New Hampshire, right, Einbein? You were in Woodstock?
No, I'm in Connecticut, dude.
Oh, I thought you were in Woodstock, New Hampshire.
No, Connecticut, bro. Come on.
No, I knew that. I just thought in the chat you said you were in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
Nah. Thank you, though. Appreciate you.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
When it comes to the JFK stuff, women wanted to be with him. I know women who weren't even born during his time, who when they look at him today, when they look at footage, they go, you know what? That JFK could have got it. That's what I hear a lot of women say, even today.
No lying. My whole life.
Yep.
I've heard that JFK was a handsome man.
Listen.
Marilyn Monroe, bro.
I have a daughter who's 25. There are 25-year-olds when they look at pictures of JFK and they say, I'm not saying my daughter said this, but they'll be like, yo, that dude, plus, power. And so the ladies wanted him. The men wanted to be him. And so you go to the Cape to try to feel closer to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Marilyn Monroe had a song written about her, right?
What was it called?
You really don't know?
I don't. I feel like I do, but I can't remember right now.
Her real name was Norma Jean.
Okay, yep, it's coming to me.
Elton John.
There it is. Oh yeah, Candle in the Wind.
Exact.
Come on now.
Boom!
I don't have time to come on here. I don't have time to come on here and lie. I knew it, but I just needed to hear, and then I'm like, oh yeah, Candle in the Wind.
Seems to me you lived your life
like a candle in the wind. I'm a cultured man.
You are, damn it. Goodbye, Norma Jean.
Goodbye, Norma.
Oh, you had the hots for JFK.
Now, the rumors are the Kennedys might have had something to do with that, allegedly. I don't know. But that adds to it. Let me go to the Cape to be with the place where these people who get away with stuff and got power. It was a president. It was like running for president. And we're the beautiful people. Let's go there. That's what people did. And that's what they're doing.
You are a beautiful thing. You know that?
It's the truth. And seriously, I know we got to go. Can I give a history lesson later on?
Whatever the hell you want.
I have a history lesson for all of you out there. Some of you may know this story. A lot of you don't. It'll make you question why your teachers didn't teach you this.
I said I would have liked to known you, but I was just a kid. Kind of learned out long before Legend never did.
And her singing happy birthday to the president still makes me a little, I'm like, I can't watch this. This seems so awkward. Even though it's, it's all in black and white. It was 60 years ago.
Who is this hour of the Sports Hub presented to us by today?
Boy, this hour of the Sports Hub is brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety.
All right. I would like to just propose this because we're very late. But if you are a business and you would like to send Leroy and Joe to the Cape, I'll drive. Okay, Leroy? Yeah. I'll show you all around, baby. We'll do the Kennedy compound. We'll do it all, baby. Oh, yeah. I'm in on that. Yeah. So you want to, because I believe Felger does a little Nantucket thing every year.
Oh, really?
Why not a little bit of a Cape tour?
Why not? Yeah. Give me a fish plate. We're good to go.
Done. I know a guy. I know plenty of that. Yeah. I know guys. I got spots.
The Cape
for you.
is good for that. It is good for fish plates.
All right, we got the hour number 2 coming up next on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
At 135, according to Gary Washburn of the Globe, the Celtics and Dame Lillard do have mutual interests. The Revs lost to Portland 2-1, and sad news, former Bruin and radio host Lyndon Byers passed away at the age of 61. Your Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Veterinarian Urgent Care Center with 8 locations in Mass, Rhode Island. Veterinary Urgent Care Center offers compassionate, convenient, high-quality care 7 days a week. Walk in or book an appointment at veturgentcare.com. Veterinarian Urgent Care Center. Urgent care for your pet's urgent needs. I'm Leroy Irvin. Your next update is in an hour.
Start your day.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Work through your day.
What's that thing we do at the end of the show?
And end your day.
I'm not giving you an opinion. I don't know.
Right here. 98.5. The Sports Hub.
Around here, we call them the Joe Murray Pre-Party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sport.
They've scored 10 runs in back-to-back games. Can you believe that? I don't know where I stand on it. But this is what's coming up. You had Walker Buehler yesterday, Garrett Crochet today. This should be a sweep today, right?
Okay.
You won 2 in a row. This is back-to-back series now where they could have swept. Just so I'm not going to sit here, Leroy, and tell you that the Red Sox are serious contenders or World Series contenders.
Yeah.
But I've heard a saying before. We have a show to do today. The show to do today is Garrett Crochet is on the mound, and they have a chance to sweep the Nationals.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to tell you the Nationals are the best team in the league.
I was about to say, why are we going getting happy about them beating
But it's about collecting wins, right?
Yes.
It's about playing who's on the schedule. It's about, doing what you have to do to move on. The 2 players that are standing out to me right now are Trevor Story. Trevor Story's one. Lucas Giolito's the other. And my take is, should these be people that the Red Sox are part of the solution? Or should they be deadline deals that they trade off because when they're playing well, there's value, right? Lucas Giolito's potentially has a team option. Which, in the Red Sox eyes, you bring back that kind of guy next year, you can solidify him in the starting rotation. Health has always been his issue, but he's been pretty great. The Trevor Story thing, he's now starting to hit because he's playing every day, but you still got Marcelo Meyer. So this is my take is, I am not going to let the good that I'm seeing right now deflect the fact that I think they should move on from those pieces.
Thank you. Don't let the good that you're seeing right now deflect you. They're 45-45, 500 team. This is what they've been all season. Ups and downs, but at the end of the day, they are a middle-of-the-pack, mediocre team, and I refuse to get excited about them. Now, as far as what you were saying, do you want to build for this season? It looks like, from what we've seen already, they have no intentions of doing that. So I would just suggest any Red Sox fan, don't get too happy. Yeah, you get wins like you do against the Nationals. Okay, celebrate that. That's great. But if the goal is to be, and I thought the Red Sox were going to be a contender again, that's what a lot of people thought. Not saying World Series champs, but at least in the mix. As of right now, they're not that. They haven't shown us anything that says that they're going to be that way. And then, Joe, I think more importantly, is anybody around here going to argue that behind the scenes it seems a little messy? It seems a little out of order, like there's conflicts, there's friction. I don't think anybody would really argue that. And if that's the case, why would I think anything positive about the Red Sox on the field?
There's no arguing it at all. There has been issues.
Yes.
Is it better since Rafael Devers has been traded?
I don't know. See, my personal belief is that all of this, including with Devers, is part of it is a generational battle that's going on, in my opinion. It's not the whole pie. It's part of the pie. And what I mean by that is, I feel like in sports, and we're seeing this example with the Red Sox, in my opinion, that we're in a time period where we are literally watching generations clash like we've never seen them clash before in sports. It's always been an issue, but what I mean by that is, for instance, Joe, you and I believe in a certain way of doing things when it comes to sports. And the younger generation goes against a lot of those things completely. And so you have older people, older participants in the world of baseball who subscribe to the old way of doing things, clashing with the new age, which is, let's just throw out old age, let's say, is traditional. It's fundamentals, and the new age is more analytical, numbers, and I believe that there's there's just a battle going on. The other part also, emotionally, mentally, how we approach things, it's something that there's a clash about. And it feels like, to me, obviously I'm not on the inside of what's going on with the Red Sox, but from the outside looking in, that's what it seems like. Oh, they just have, this person believes that things should go one way. They don't like analytics. They're not doing this. They're not going with traditional ways of becoming better. And it's just a mess.
You're right.
And because of that, I have no faith in them doing anything, not only this season, but probably for a while, until they all get on one accord and are united in what they're trying to do.
Leroy, you're absolutely right. But on the field, though, sometimes we do have to look what happens on the field. There's no doubt they're still a terrible defensive team.
Yep.
Like, it's horrible. They could make the trade for Devers. They're still bad in the field. The manager at times makes some poor decisions. There are players that are doing way too much. Romy Gonzalez tries to stretch a double into a triple, right? Jaron Duran's always trying to do too much. I think at times Roman Anthony can't play right field. Like, he's just not a right fielder. But there are guys I want to give some credit to. How about Ceddanne Rafaela, right? Since June 1st, he's had 111 plate appearances. He's batting .279 with 6 home runs, 9 doubles, and 14 RBI. Like, that's, for him, last year they messed with him. They played him at second, short, outfield. Like, he didn't know what he's doing. He's a rookie. Signed a big extension, right? Well, he's played center field for the most part all year long. Now you're starting to see he is a good center fielder. He might do a little too much at times, too, because he's very gifted in the outfield. But I'm starting to see something out of him. Like, we hear about Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony, and Christian Campbell. They have these other guys that are coming up, too, that, what are they going to do with them? But the one guy that I think I want to give him props, because I thought at one point he'd be DFA'd. Trevor Story. In the same time, since June 1st, same time, he's batting .324. 6 home runs, 8 doubles, 28 RBI. I would trade him. You know what he is. Is he a leader? No. Like if you trade him, are you losing your leadership? No. I would trade him for the simple fact that I think he can help another team, and I think it's ready for the Marcelo Meyer era at shortstop. So I think it's great. I'm happy for Trevor Story. He's a guy who's battled injuries his whole career, got a big deal, really hasn't worked out. He's finally playing every day. But I think he is what he is. Like, his ceiling is this. I would trade him. I'd probably do it sooner than later. I don't know what message it shows to the team, but to your point, there's so much going on between the front office and what's going on in the field. Why does it matter if you trade him?
Yeah.
So, it's not like you're riding the hot streak into the playoffs here with a hot guy. He's still under contract. You got to get out of that thing. You were so hot to get out of Devers. You should be hot to get out of this thing, too.
Right. Also, you said, is he a leader? And you said probably not. It just made me think, Joe, what if having leaders on a team is old school? What if having leaders on a team is played out for the newer generation? If you look across the street, down the way a little bit north end, you see the Celtics, and a conversation that always tends to come up is who's the leader. What if players aren't built like that anymore and don't want to have that one person or maybe two people on the team that everybody is supposed to listen to and fall in line to? What if that doesn't even matter anymore? This is all what I'm saying. It just feels like there's a generational thing going on right before our eyes. We're not really recognizing it. But the more you just pay attention, because it's not just in baseball, it's throughout sports, it's changing. it's really, really changing. And so if that's the case, and I believe it, then I'm with you on the whole Trevor story. It might be time to move on. You're not like, is he a leader? No, if that's not the case, if he doesn't even have leader qualities that are going to help lead this new generation, and I'm questioning whether the new generation even wants players like that, you might as well move on, invest in the youth, and what happens, you're going to have to be accountable for it.
Yeah. You might have to pay some of that.
You might have to, yeah.
You know? People want to, hey, what'd you eat this weekend?
What did I eat?
Yeah, what'd you eat up in New Hampshire? What'd you guys cook out? Did you go out
Sorry,
somewhere?
I mean, what y'all? Yeah, we just did, the burgers, pizza, that type
pizza,
of stuff.
huh?
Come on, man.
You have a hot dog on?
No glizzies. No glizzies. No hot
What do you put on a hot dog?
I put everything.
Okay.
Ketchup, mustard, relish, hots, onions.
Do you have a problem with people with what they put on their hot dog?
Only when I'm paying for it.
Jeff?
Joe, you got killed this past week.
I got killed.
If I'm paying for it, like, okay, Simcoe's. It's had some ups and downs, but I'm going to go with the glory
I don't
days.
care. I'm still going to Simcoe's.
So if I'm
Blue
going
Hill Ave or American Legion?
Blue Hill.
Okay.
So when I would go, if I'm going to Simcoe's to get a hot dog, and I would take my son, let's use my son Jordan.
Poor Jordan.
Plain hot dog, nothing on it.
I go naked. Yeah.
No.
So listen, I get shamed because I like ketchup on a hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
I get shamed for it. I don't want to do this today. I'm not doing this today. But yes, Jeff, I got killed for it. I was at Long Beach in Gloucester.
Mm-hmm.
My mom said, "Hey, there's a food truck. What do you want?" I said, "I'll have a hot dog." Came back, there was ketchup on it.
Yeah.
That's how I like them. She knows. Normally, if I'm going to post a photo, I'm going to go naked. Just straight dog.
Eats a hot dog with nothing.
Well, I don't want to do that. I prefer ketchup.
So you getting punked.
Even Dan Elderman of the Phantom Gourmet even had a take on it. You know it's real when the Phantom Gourmet has to open up and say, "Joe, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
I don't like mustard. But I do like when it's like what's the stuff at the 99 there? The gold fever wings? Oh, baby. Now that's what? Mustard and what? What is that sauce? I don't know what it is.
It's tough to like explain it.
So I don't like, I'm not out on mustard like I am with lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out on lettuce.
Yeah, no lettuce on a hot dog? Lettuce?
No. I was saying there's things I don't like. I don't like lettuce.
Right.
I'm out on relish. Sorry, bro. Yeah, I don't know what the hell relish is. I ain't eating it. Now, I don't want the onions. I don't want all that.
Yeah.
But I am a ketchup on a hot dog, and I got crushed for it.
Let me explain to you what it is. A hot dog with everything on it. It's kind of like what the Red Sox used to be. You got the base, but then it's like, man, we need some talent over here. Oh, that might cost a little bit extra. No problem.
Yeah, like it's half-baked.
We're spending.
Why was I just thinking the same thing,
This
Joe?
is the second. Jeff, another week in a row of a half-baked reference.
Sauerkraut, 50 cents extra.
Yeah, but just real quick, though, you know what I'm talking about, right? He only had like $18 or something to go out.
Yes.
And he's like, let's huff it.
Yeah.
And then she goes, oh, a hot dog.
Yep.
And she's like, yeah, can I get this? Sauerkraut, 50 cents. He's like, damn.
Yep.
So anyway, sorry.
But that's the Red Sox now. They used to be the other way. Oh, get whatever you want on it. Toast the bread. You want relish, put relish. You want onions, you want them raw, you want them cooked. Go ahead. Do whatever you like. And now the Red Sox have just turned into a plain old hot dog.
Oh, I like that.
They don't even want to, you don't want to pay to get a little razzle dazzle, a little Riz on the team? Nothing?
Riz is what I'm looking for.
Nothing?
Just a little Riz.
They used to have one of the best hot dogs in town. I'm talking about as a team.
It was like a steamed something.
The Yankees had good hot dogs. The Red Sox. The Dodgers. And now it's like, man, they done fell off,
Yeah, they're like a plain hot dog.
Yeah. If baseball was... If every team represented a hot dog stand, the Red Sox used to have one of the best, and they didn't care what it took to make it. Like, what do you want? What do you want on your hot dog? Oh, we're gonna go get it. Now it's
Well, I don't think
it's plain, and you just deal with it.
I will say this: I don't think we should judge anybody on their hot dogs.
They're 45 and 45, plain.
I'd rather judge people on how they like their meat.
Oh, you're one of those? You're a snake.
So some people are very love everything rare. No, I'm not a snob.
Okay.
I can eat whatever you give me. Rare, medium. Well.
Yeah.
I don't like the over. I don't like the medium, the overcooked, or whatever you call it.
I
don't want it like a hockey puck. I do know who Dennis Knudsen from here. He loves his hockey pucks.
Really?
He likes it charred. Out on that.
Yeah, out. Pittsburgh style though. I want the edges fired up, crispy.
Mm-hmm.
The fat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Do we have that Mary Jane scene?
I'm hungry too. Hey, you want to eat at the Happy Palace?
How about a hot dog? Huh? Hey, what's up?
Hot dog.
Hey, what can I get you?
Could I have a hot dog with ketchup and sauerkraut, please?
Sauerkraut's 50 cents extra.
Damn! I've not had a hot dog in so long.
Come on, let's get out of here. Anything to drink with that? Son of a bitch.
Yes. Could I have a Pepsi, please?
Anything for you, sir? No, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's the Red Sox ownership today.
How much money did he have?
$8.
He had $8. What was that? $4.50?
Yes.
Plus 50 cents for the sauerkraut?
Yeah.
So then she wanted to take a cab because they walked too much because he didn't have the money for the cab.
And one of the greatest moments in that movie goes down.
And he reached his hand into the panhandler. And he was like, "Thank you." And then they shared an ice cream.
Yeah.
Thank you some food. Oh. Don't mind if I do. Thank you, brother. No. Thank you.
You gonna hear the change go up?
That's Red Sox ownership. Think about it. It is.
No, I'm with you.
Unbelievable. Remember that?
I got some booze. Sorry.
Remember there was a time. Hey, do you want some hitting? Do you want some pitching? Oh, you want a bullpen? Oh, you want some superstars? Yeah, we getting all that. Now they just pocket watching.
We have to go to break, but I'll just say this: all the money that we applauded them for spending, they got it, all that and more back in the Devers deal. So really, did they spend?
No.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a quick break. Leroy's here. I'm Joe Murray, 98. Found the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray.
as much as we all love the 4th of July holiday weekend, there's always shenanigans, right?
Mm-hmm.
The city wasn't great this weekend, Leroy.
Was it?
A lot of the beaches. Again,
Good job, Hampton.
How about Hampton Beach?
Oh,
Leroy,
I did see
Jeff, how many
that.
times have we talked about Hampton?
A lot.
And like how it's changed.
I told my daughter I don't want her going up there anymore.
It's just there's problems everywhere. Okay, I'm not trying to single out anything, but I feel like once people cross into New Hampshire, it's live free or die. Like it really is live free or die. But up there, it's been bad. There were accidents. The most famous 4th of July accident is probably JPP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was still on an active roster last year.
Yeah.
I wonder where he ranks amongst Hall of Fame pass rushers. Because he's won 2 championships, one with the Giants, one with the Bucks, I believe. Anyways, long story short there. And then I should probably mention that Lyndon Byers passed. I saw some things on Twitter about it, and I didn't want to believe it. And then the Bruins posted it. But Lyndon Byers played for the Bruins, 8 years? I think he had a 9-year career. Was on a couple of those Stanley Cup teams for the Bees that went to the finals. But most people will know him as LB on morning radio for years in this town. And I've had a chance to meet him. I met him, of all places, I met him at the Hot Dog Safari. Yes, okay. Because I used to work those when I worked at 1510. But, yeah, I've met LB. Dude, I feel bad for his family and his kids. Why? He's 61 years old. He was a mainstay in Boston radio, Leroy. So very, not to get all morbid on this, but I feel like that's a guy that I think, besides his playing style, connected with people locally as a radio host. Yeah. Passed away at the age of 61 over the weekend or over the holiday weekend. And so I hope I'm not the first to let people know about that, but it came out yesterday. And I know that things get lost over the holiday weekend.
Sure does.
I do think that you'll probably hear more about LB in his passing this week.
Oh, yeah. Another person we lost, many probably don't know who this person is, but if you are a fan of hip-hop, a fan of Tupac, he had a group called The Outlaws, and one of their members, Young Noble, he passed away on the 4th.
Remember the Steve McNair thing happened on the 4th one year?
Yeah.
Jeez. We could go back a ways, but as much as we all enjoy it and get away for a bit, it's still some real life stuff. Speaking of that, let's do a little Murray's music for a minute here. I had to look this up, but and let me get the accuracy of this. But when you think of hip hop songs that are downloaded, Leroy, in your opinion, what do you think is the most downloaded song of all time?
The most downloaded hip-hop song of all time. It's going to be something newer because it's the young people pushing the music. I'm going to go with it's either Drake or Kendrick Lamar song. Am I close?
Wow, you've nailed it. Do you know which one in the song?
I'm going to go with Kendrick, and I'm going to go with one that, it can't be that. Can't be Not Like Us or Luther. It can't be. It's got to be Drake. It's got to be some Drake song. I don't know what song, but it's Drake.
Drake's on the list as well.
Oh my God.
Listen, people crap on Drake. Right?
They do.
And I understand the Kendrick stuff, and I don't know anything about him with younger. I don't know anything about that stuff. I don't know anything.
Is it One Dance?
One Dance. I loved One Dance.
Is that the second one?
No. What's the one with DJ Khaled there?
With Drake?
Yeah.
Oh, DJ Khaled.
Yeah, what's that one? Here, I got it right here. Hang on one second. God's Plan, One Dance. Yep.
Oh, it is One Dance.
He's got a lot of them. In My Feelings is another one that's in there.
Yeah.
39 of Drake's record-holding entries are on the top 500 most streamed all time.
Yeah. I get it. I understand. See? A generational. Remember I brought up earlier? Generational. Yeah. This is all generational.
I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy.
To be honest, if you don't mind, if I can use this as an example,
please,
think about it.
Please.
The younger generation drove Drake songs to be the most streamed hip hop songs ever. I think millennials, Generation X and before are having a hard time accepting that we're not the target audience anymore.
Oh, you and I. You mean like 40-year-old plus?
I think we're having a hard time understanding we're not the target.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the problem. Just to use baseball as an example.
Yeah.
They're not targeting baseball people to us.
They're not. And then it goes deeper. It's not just about viewership. It's not just about fans. This is what I mean before. It's about, now it's gotten even into the inner workings of sports teams.
Yeah.
You have someone like, let's say, Alex Cora, who comes from a different time. He probably thinks more so like you and I. What I've been told, my understanding about him is he's the type of guy, for instance, that says, you know what? The guys on the team need to work out things amongst themselves. That's not my job. If Joe and Leroy are having an issue, Joe and Leroy need to handle that as grown men. But today's generation is a little bit different. Where you as a manager, you're going to have to do a lot of patting on the back, holding hands, and he's just not equipped. I'm talking about Alex Cora. He may not be into that. He may look at it and frown upon it and say, what are you talking about? I got a baby, grown adults? I'm not doing that. There's a certain level of managing that I have to do, but this? And I think that's where you have issues like that, and it's just back and forth. Again, analytics.
Just to bring this
in
up.
comparison to traditional ways of playing the game.
Two things I wanted to get into. Maybe we can do this on the other side, but I had a chance to go to the Red Sox game the other night, and I sat in the Legends box.
Beautiful.
You been up there?
No.
I'll give you the Legends box update. Who I sat with, and something else happened over the weekend at Fenway Park that I think was a target. You're talking about target audiences?
Yeah.
Oh boy, something else happened this weekend that I think was huge. It got over big time. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on
Back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Do you know who this is, Leroy?
I do not.
I only would know because I know the song, but I think they suck.
Well, who is it, Joe?
It's the All-American Rejects.
Okay.
They were live at Fenway yesterday in the crowd at the Savannah Bananas game.
Uh-huh. Yep. Sold out, too, probably.
Sold out
Yeah.
and banged out.
Yep. Yep.
This was better than any Red Sox game this year. Fact.
Why? What's the difference?
They brought Keith Folk out at one point. Matt Barnes came out. They had stars galore. The Savannah Bananas are like a Globetrotters version of baseball.
Joe.
Is that a good example?
Yeah.
They're like a traveling act.
It's a very
sport.
simple. You create social media moments, post moments. That's all. It's going back to the Red Sox. Yeah, I think flashing the lights at the end of the game is corny. But guess what? In order to keep this thing going, rolling, growing, the younger generation is like, yeah, that's a great moment to get me a little video in and celebrate and post it.
Yep.
That's what, and what I'm saying, that's the surface area stuff. But behind the scenes, I think a lot of people are having a hard time making the adjustment because the adjustments are happening on the field. They're happening socially, publicly. And you're like, okay, we gotta move. We gotta make some adjustments. Remember, there was a time certain teams didn't have a Twitter X page or Instagram or Facebook. They bucked against it, but then they got it. It's the same thing, but it's going even deeper. It's going into the locker rooms and the boardrooms of teams throughout sports. And a lot of teams, and I think the Red Sox are one of them, are having a hard time adjusting and accepting that things have changed.
So they call it banana ball.
Mm-hmm.
Not like Missoula ball. Like banana ball, it's like a unique style, entertainment, fan interaction, and the speed of play. It's a little different. They have choreographed dances.
Nice.
Like their celebrations are way over the top. They got unique walk-up music. The fans are involved. The banana nanas, the man nanas, the banana splits. They're all a part of it.
I like that.
They're all over ESPN. They've done a world tour. They play at Grayson Stadium, which is historic in Savannah. They got all you can eat options. So all you can eat food and beverages. It's not a bad little deal there. But they had. I know Matt Barnes pitched. I think Keith Folk was a part of it. The All-American Rejects were there yesterday. It was packed. I saw Jared Carabas there last night. I didn't go, but it was July 5th weekend. July 5th. Packed. Sold out.
Multiple social media post moments. That's what it sounds like. Just loaded with those. And again, now you're going behind the scenes. You got to think, man, this is just because athletes aren't different from the average everyday person. Yes, they may make more money. They're in the public more. But when you get down to the nitty gritty, these young athletes just think totally different. I got young kids. I see how different they think. It's totally different. I see what they find entertaining and what they don't find entertaining. I see how they want to be treated and approached and talked to, and it's totally different from how we came up, Joe. And if you don't think that's seeping into sports, you're out of your mind.
All right. Well, I was at the Legends box the other night. And I want to let you know that I did Morning Drive this week, and I was with Matt McCarthy, and Nesson did the 1975 broadcast because 50 years celebrating a team that lost.
Yep. And to be honest, I liked it. I thought seeing the old what's it called? The graphics. The graphics and stuff. I thought that was cool.
I agree with you. I watched it too. Me, Joe Murray, just don't like how we celebrate moments of losing. 1967, 1975, 1986. Like, we celebrate losers. Like when Bird stole the ball, they lost the championship. Like,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're licking your chops right now. I just saw you writing down.
It's to me because it's validating everything that I said before. Because I'm with you. Celebrating losing moments.
So the first half of our lives, you and I, Leroy, this whole town was losers.
Yes.
Second half of our lives, all they've done was win, no matter what. Right. So like, here I am. Excuse me, Mr. Grew up in 75, and it was the biggest thing in your life.
Yep.
Dude, I just watched like 12 championships.
Yeah.
You're celebrating that? So I called everybody losers. And
I wouldn't go that far,
So
Joe.
Hooch invited me to the game. We sat in the Legends box. Shout out to Mark. And so McCarthy goes, "Oh, you shouldn't have are you going to call one of the Legends tonight a loser?" And I said, "Well, if it comes down to it, I might have to."
Uh-oh.
I walk in, and it's Carlton Fisk. And I'm like, this guy's going to kick my ass. 77, tough as nails, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's the one that hit the home run about a girl, all that stuff.
Yeah.
He fought Deion Sanders. So I go, hey, man, I got to tell you about this thing that happened. Well, actually, what happened was about a lot of the younger people, I had to tell them who Carlton Fisk was.
That's crazy.
I know. Because he retired in 93, so I guess if you're born in it's tough.
It's no excuse because we knew about players that we never saw play. We knew about.
True, you're right. Absolutely right. So, yeah, he signed balls for everybody, took photos. It was great. But since the young crowd didn't really know him, I sat with him all night.
Oh, my God.
So what was great about this was, Mr. Fisk, what would you like? Would you like lobster or steak? And he goes, what about you, Joe? And I go, I'm down with the surf and turf. So we ate lobster rolls and steak, had a great time, talked. I asked him everything. So I don't know if it was off the record, but we asked a lot of stuff. The Goodwill Hunting, the scene about, I missed the game because I went to go see About a Girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's about him, and they were like, you were there for that, what was it? He goes, yeah, I didn't miss the game. I was talking to my wife or whatever. So yeah, I talked about that, and then him and Deion Sanders and, being a catcher. He said when he called the games. He didn't get any calls from the dugout or whatever. It's just him and Deion and 1, 2, that was it.
Wow.
That's where the game's changed.
Mm-hmm.
Catcher now is always looking for the he also got a little upset when with no outs and a runner on third, someone swung at a first pitch and popped out. So I appreciated it because it's a different eye. It's a Hall of Fame eye. Like it's a Hall of Fame eye who played catcher. I enjoyed it, but I could definitely tell the difference in like where we're at as far as baseball goes. Like that's a guy that should be. Yes, he had a great moment 50 years ago, but let's not forget had a Hall of Fame career too, and played elsewhere because ownership didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, it sounds like
bet on himself.
They're trying to find how can we use the past to again create social media moments. That's all it is, Joe. I bet you once those young people found out who he was or got a whiff of what it could mean to have a picture with him. Oh, yeah.
So can I personally, just to speak on this, I work at night. We have less listeners at night. It's not about time. It's not about talent or anything like that. It's just there's more people listening to you in the morning, right?
Yes.
There's just more people listening in the morning. So I feel as though when I do my show, I have to get those clips out on social media because if you missed the show at all at night and you didn't listen, I need to be present so you saw my take.
Right.
You get what I mean? You're right. This business has gone to what you can post on social media.
Oh, yeah. And then if you think about it, it trains the minds. Imagine growing up in this world, social media world. You can't help but probably feel like it's really all about you. You're always looking for the next moment. And so devastating moments don't really hit as hard probably in sports. Oh, we lost 3 in a row, 4 in a row. It's okay. We'll be all right. I got my money. We'll be okay. We'll come back and we'll win a few. And you expect, we're used to just being devastated. We're used to, what are you doing celebrating the 75? You see what I'm saying? But this generation's different. And I'm telling y'all, I know I'm probably not your favorite person. I'm probably not the person that you respect the most when it comes to sports takes. So you're probably dismissing what I'm saying. I'm telling you behind the scenes, when it comes to managing, when it comes to ownership, there is a clash, a generational clash going on throughout sports. It is so clear to me that it just baffles me that point hasn't been talked about more as a reason why teams aren't as successful as they used to be. Obviously, money, it's not the whole pie, like I said before, but it does have a part to play with it. Obviously, with the Red Sox, we're trying to figure out, are they spreading themselves too thin? Are they losing interest in supporting the Red Sox and have all these other interests? We don't know. It comes down to money. That's a huge part financially. What happened to the wheeling and dealing, spending Red Sox? They don't exist anymore. But you got to start asking yourself why things break down behind the scenes. What's the deal? Why would Devers, you say goodbye to him? Really? You got to wonder why. Where was that clash and how did it start?
Bob's in Lawrence. Bob.
Joe, good afternoon, my man. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Final day of a long weekend, just chilling out, relaxing. Gotta love it. I heard you talking about The Departed earlier in the week, Joe, I think on the morning show, and great movie. I'm not saying it's not. It's a great, great movie, but the ending is a little ridiculous, okay? Yeah. You get two dead state police detectives and an undercover informant that nobody really knows about. They're all dead. Matt Damon's sitting there like, oh, let's just give these guys a Medal of Merit. The investigation goes away.
He's got a point, Joe.
Well, what about Mark Wahlberg?
Oh, he gets his at the end, but I mean, don't you think?
But that's the whole point. He's the guy that went away. Hey, the world needs plenty of bartenders.
Bartenders,
right?
Right.
He was the guy that knew everything and knew who the snitches were. So he killed the snitch and the rat.
Don't you think there'd be some detective who showed up at the crime scene and said, hey, wait a minute.
No, he got thrown off a roof. The only person who knew who the snitch and the rat was Dignam, right? Or what was his name? Digman? Whatever. The only other person who knew was Mark Wahlberg. Yeah. And so what did he do? The guy went to go get his loaf of bread at Panadosi's and then came back and got shot because he's a rat. And the only person who knew was Mark Wahlberg.
You're stupid, man.
We'll go to a break. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. And Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Red Sox over the Nationals 10-3 yesterday. They'll play again today at 1:35. According to Gary Washburn of the Globe, the Celtics and Dame Lillard do have mutual interests. The Revs lost to Portland 2-1, and sad news, former Bruin and radio host Lyndon Byers passed away at the age of 61. Your Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the new burgers at the 99. Like the new Bourbon Onion Burger, my God, their half-pound, 100% American Angus beef is sure to please. You gotta love the nines. I'm Leroy Irvin. Your next update is in an hour.
To us, Boston pride runs deep.
I'm a Bostonian!
This is Boston's home for sports.
Bow, bow, bow!
98.5, the Sports Hub.
Quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray.
Memories they shot Kennedy.
Time out. You said the name of the song is what? Civil War?
Civil War.
Can I give my other history lesson real quick?
Please, go ahead. It's your show.
So, really quick. He said Civil War. Guys, this is a very interesting history lesson where I wish they would have taught stuff like this in school, but they didn't. Maybe they do today. Joe, April 15th, 1865. Do you know what happens?
No.
The 16th president,
Okay.
Abraham Lincoln, who was the president while the Civil War was going on, was assassinated.
Sad day.
Do you know how long it took for him to be just buried in peace?
So he got assassinated.
1865. How long before he was permanently laid to rest?
So, like, when you mean dead?
Yes, and
like how
in
long
his
it took him
casket.
to die?
How long did it take for them to permanently place his casket in the ground,
to grave him,
and put him where he is today?
I actually have no clue.
Okay, almost 40 years.
So where did they store his body?
Aha! And here's where the important history lesson comes in. I love history. I'm sorry, but I got to tell you.
So Abraham Lincoln's the man. Like this guy is great. A lot to know about.
Check out this story. 1865, he dies. They take his body on a tour around the country by train. They go to bury him. They bury him. Now, when Lincoln was president, he formed this thing called the Secret Service. You know what the Secret Service was for? It wasn't to protect the president. It was to go after counterfeiters because counterfeiting was very huge in the country at that time. Short story, real good, long story short. The Secret Service catches one of the greatest counterfeiters in the country. He's caught. He's locked up. His crew says, you know what? We got to get him back. How can we get him back? We will steal the body of the dead president and hold it for ransom in return for our guy. Joe, they get this close. They pull the casket out of the ground. The Secret Service shows up, though. But from that point on, they had to keep moving Lincoln's body around for almost 40 years. Some nights, some years, it stayed in like the basement of a church covered by bricks and wood. And then they would move it again and move it again. It took almost 40 years for him to be permanently buried in the ground. They opened his casket a few times. They describe how he looks because they had to make sure his body was still in there and not stolen. At one point, they said his skin was like black leather. It's just an unbelievable story that a president's body was not buried for almost 40 years.
So
I think it was 36 years.
That's wild. When Kennedy was assassinated, well, you know, the Zapruder film and all that.
Yes.
The files were released, and from something I watched, there was some casket shenanigans with that as well. Like one had he was put in two different caskets, from what I gather.
Really?
One from when he was traveled from after the incident to the funeral home.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there is probably some, Secret Service involved in that? I don't know. I went to the Mob Museum in Vegas. Great. If anybody has a chance, see, when people go to Vegas, they see the big lights and want to party and dance and whatever. But there's a lot of things. I went to the Neon Museum, which is the Tim Burton Museum. It was all the signs from Tim Burton in the movies he was in, etc. Like Mars Attacks and Edward Scissorhands and all that. Well, I went to the Mob Museum, and it showed the history of the mob. But one of the areas was who shot JFK, and was the mob involved? Ooh. And it was if you're into it. So. Yes. They did have a Whitey Bulger spot, and they had like Capone and all these others like little places, but it was very high. A lot of theories on the JFK situation, which we won't do today because I could really go on.
Me too. You said Civil War, and I said I got to get that one.
But songs about JFK or songs with lyrics of JFK. You said Cult of Personality. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Like Kennedy.
Yeah.
Was Sympathy for the Devil about Kennedy from the Rolling Stones?
Yeah, I can hear that lyric in my head.
I don't know why. Yeah, me too. I'm trying to think of what it was. Anyways, Brian is in Manchester. Hey, Brian.
Hey guys, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You take it back a second when you were talking about not celebrating championships, and you mentioned the Larry Bird steal, which I wasn't alive then, but I remember ESPN Classic seeing that play, and I guess I didn't realize we lost that championship, but immediately Derek White's putback on the Marcus Smart missed shot to beat the Heat in Game 6. I celebrated that moment all night. But obviously, we know what happened in Game 7. I didn't think about that. I mean, I'm sure I thought about it recently, but you guys brought it up. It's like, I can't celebrate that moment because we got smoked in Game 7.
Yeah, Doug Flutie's drop kick, right? There's others, but there's a lot of great moments that we celebrate that didn't lead to a championship. How about, it's another one that people always talk about? Remember Ben Watson? Chasing down Champ Bailey. Yep. It was an interception. That, by the way, should have been a touchback. By the way, it should have been a touchback. In today's game,
were we down 10?
That's a touchdown. A touchback, excuse me. The Pats, that would have been a tremendous play that turned into a turnover because the Patriots would have got the ball back, no score.
I was 16 years old. That was the first time I saw Tom Brady lose the playoff, and I said, all right, it's the divisional round. What do I do now?
See, Brian, thank you. I'm glad you just sat there and went, oh, yeah, we celebrate the Marcus Smart missed shot and the Derek White putback. People do.
Is it okay to celebrate?
Hang on. There we go. Thank you.
Joe, you're proving my point more and more. I mean, it's in songs. Come on now. The Cape owes the Kennedys a huge thank you.
The next time I go down to the Cape, okay? Yeah, you know what's funny? When I was growing up in the neighborhood, you ever notice when your friend got a new car, you would see that car everywhere?
Oh yeah.
Or you'd bring up something and you just see something about that all the time. It's more of a sudden awareness. The next time I go to the Cape, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'm gonna call it Kennedy Findings. That just came up in my head. I don't trust me. I could get a better one.
Joe, I'm going to ask you this again and answer honestly. Have you been to anyone's house a generation before us, and have you seen on their mantle or on their table a picture of Jesus, JFK, or on their wall, or Martin Luther King?
I will say this. Growing up, my grandmother, who lived in Hyde Park, had JFK and Elvis.
See? See? I'm telling you. Listen, hey. What's the name of Elvis's joint? His house in Memphis?
Graceland.
Graceland. Yeah,
you think that area of Memphis is it has nothing to do with Elvis, white people? No, that has
great.
something.
There's movies about it.
It's got people come there to see him.
So you're trying to tell me that the Cape is the Graceland of the Kennedys?
That's a pretty good way. Yeah, that is. It is.
As my buddy Hooch says. I've shouted Hooch out 3 times today. Who's listening to the show on the beach down the Cape. Yeah. Says Leroy's take has little lobster legs.
But the legs are working. And they're moving.
They're moving, baby. They got
I like that.
Maybe little legs, but big claws.
The Cape is the Graceland of the Kennedys. Yeah, that's true.
Pat's in Salem. Pat.
Hey, what's up, guys? Love you both.
What's going
on? It's funny you mentioned the song Sympathy for the Devil. I was calling in about the Kennedys, and I live in Salem and get a lot of that style of tourism that Leroy's describing.
I live in Peabody, bro, and by the way, the Bombo Cyclone is the Topsfield Fair and October. When those two things happen, I can't even get home. Forget about it.
I can barely walk my dog in Salem as is without running into tour groups. But that line, we shouted out who killed the Kennedys. That's about how the infatuation with that family and how society collectively kind of, fetishizes people who die or kind of like the rubbernecker theory or whatever. So I think that song backs up Leroy's point, and I 100% co-sign that take. Well done.
Hey, real quick, Pat, you live in Salem, right?
Uh-huh.
So everyone goes to downtown Salem to celebrate, right? There's the Hawthorne Hotel, all that. But didn't all the gallows stuff happen not even in downtown?
Yeah, I went to St. John's Prep in Danvers. It all happened in Danvers.
Thank you. Just wanted to confirm that. Shout out to St. John's Prep too, I guess, right?
Yeah, people going.
You speak well. Obviously you work on the radio.
Yeah.
I feel like you could do this in a classroom.
That's part of
an adjunct professor.
It's one of the things I would love to do. When I used to work with kids, shout out to the Kroc Center on Dudley Street in Roxbury, and I worked there. And these kids were, let's say, 11 years old and under. And I sat them down and I would talk to them about history, and they would be just glued. And oh my God, they didn't know. And they would all go, "Why don't they teach us this at school?" I was like, "Hey, I don't know." But stuff like that, man, that's just interesting. 36 years before a president's body was officially laid to rest. You didn't know about that? Okay. Let me sip my coffee.
Professor Irvin.
I like that. All
right.
Interesting.
Well, there's been a lot of history here today. Everyone's laughing at my grandmother's JFK and Elvis.
Because you know why?
What I relate my childhood to.
I bet you at least half of them are laughing because they can identify.
Yes, everyone's laughing. Exactly.
They know.
Yeah.
If I go like this, hey, to people who grew up around the way, Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan, Hyde Park, and you went to church, whose faces were on the fans that we got? They already know. You have church fans, because most of them didn't have AC or anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was all you would see, obviously, Jesus on the fan.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah. I saw the Jesus. I saw Mary on a fan.
Martin Luther King, always.
Yeah, okay.
Always on the fans. Mm-hmm. And in some places, you got JFK. It's weird.
Church fans.
It's weird. It's very weird. You don't know about church fans?
No, I went to Sacred Heart in Rosendale. We had church fans that had pictures on
or the funeral home that's closest to your church would have fans. And
Yeah. Pleased to meet you.
JFK.
Well, now I'm thinking about more songs now. I mentioned Civil War already from Guns N' Roses. Now I'm thinking. My brain. This is a problem on a Sunday. Leroy's here. I'm Joe Murray. It sounds like there's a lot going on today. The news, people are awake. There's news dumps happening. Let's give you the news dumps next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. The
go to the Cape because of the
I
Kennedys.
appreciate you apologizing.
I don't want to dismiss your take, but I think I'm wrong. After some investigation, I think I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I just got a tweet. We got a tweet. Dave, my wife is obsessed with Jackie and JFK. Coffee mug on the stove, sticker on the fridge, never mind the bookcase filled with books about them in my basement. And it's got the Kennedy on the front, and then on the side, it's the mug of Jackie O and JFK. Now, that's a power couple, baby. Right there.
Camelot.
Oh.
That's what they called it. Camelot. It was like the nation's king and queen.
I can't do this today, but are they the biggest Massachusetts power couple? And
Yes.
I don't know if she's from here. I actually don't really know much about her background. I just know she dated him. So is like she from here too?
She dated and married. We gotta say she married.
Jackie,
I think she's from New York. I think so. Or she moved there afterwards. I think so. But yeah, people are they're really, really fascinated with them. It's kind of like, and bringing it to sports, like watch
From
this.
New York, you're right. Yeah.
I shouldn't be knowing this stuff, but I do.
You're
so,
good.
Joe, for instance, North Carolina. Why do you think for a long period of time, I don't know if it's as strong as it used to be, why do you think basketball players went to North Carolina?
Because of Michael Jordan?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
There was a time.
I got, when you're in school and they ask you the end, you don't know?
No,
that's how I felt right there.
But I'm saying it's like, him being there was a reason for people for decades to say, you know what, I got to at least put North Carolina on my list of schools to attend to if I'm a basketball player. I'm thinking about it. It's just certain people have that type of impact that cause others to want to be in the same space that the greats were. And whether you like them or not, the Kennedys, they had that. I don't know if they have it anymore, but they had that for decades. And we're still dealing with the aftermath. And that's why a lot of people big up the Cape as much as they do. Because like I said, if there's no good weather, what can you do?
Well, I have pulled up the church fan.
Yes, and who's on the church fan?
Well, in the middle is JFK.
Yep.
It was Martin Luther King. Yeah. And is this Robert? Or who is that?
That's Robert.
Robert Kennedy.
That's Robert Kennedy.
Yeah. But I remember that.
It was
like a paddle.
There was a generation who thought those three were literally saints, and you couldn't tell them anything about them.
I brought this up off the air, but songs about Kennedy. Bob's in the car. Bob.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey,
good.
Good. I gotta say, first off, you guys are the dream team on a Sunday. It's so awesome to be in the car and hear you both.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for that. So yeah, there's a song out there. It's kind of hard to find, but it's specifically about Ted Kennedy. It's called the Ted Kennedy drinking song. I can't really find it for you, but I can sing it to you. I can sing you a bar.
Yeah, give me a bar.
It goes a bar. It goes, oh, it's Irish. Oh, your mother is dead, and your father is dead, and your brother 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 is dead, and your car doesn't float.
Oh, no, dump. We had, see, this is what happens when we try to have too much fun.
I could feel it.
Thank you, Jeff.
I could feel it.
Jeff, we allowed it, but then we dumped it. So if you're on the stream, you got it. But I don't partake in parody on the air.
The good, the bad, and the ugly, though, is part of the attraction.
Kind of catchy.
I think I've heard it before, but I just don't want to endorse it. That's all. How about Joey in Kingston? Joey!
What is going
on? Oh, my God. What a show, gentlemen. Always a pleasure. So to hitting home. First of all, I'm working in Dorchester today, and I stopped by Lambert's for my breakfast.
Yes.
I stopped by for my breakfast. That pulled chicken and that onion broth. But Leroy, listen, because I was near Pleasant Street today, and that's where my grandmother grew up, and she passed away about 35 years ago. She was the oldest of 9. Now, in her house, there was a room set aside. It had a big picture of Jesus next to JFK, and she had a statue of the Virgin Mary, and next to that was a bronze head bust of JFK, in which her youngest brother passed away a few years ago, and it was gifted to me because I was always fascinated with JFK and the assassination and all that. But now, to the Cape. my buddy was a cop down in Hyannis in the late 80s and 90s, and the Kennedys were big then. Arnold Schwarzenegger would always come to town with his wife, and they would close down places for him. But when he worked out at the gym, that was it. It was only him could be in there. And my buddy was going to work out, and he was bummed out he couldn't get in. Arnold felt bad and let him work out with him for the day.
Oh, that's dope.
Now, Leroy,
Yeah.
you know what the version of the Cape is for me?
What's that?
Plymouth Center. I can go hang out at East Bay, get seafood, a cold beer, look out the sand dunes. The water is just as cold there as it is down the Cape without the traffic.
Yeah.
And Joe, you know what the North Shore for me is? Quincy. My mom still lives there. I'll go up there. I'll take it to Marina Bay or Tony's Clam Shop. There's no need for me to go any further. Just keeping things, simple as I get older. So, gentlemen, always a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
We got to get
Awesome.
we got to get Joey to the real North Shore. Though.
I was just over at Marina Bay about 2 days ago.
That's right. That's where the engagement was. That where
the engagement went down at Mystique at Encore. But I was over at Marina Bay. I took my daughter. We went to go have a drink. She's of age, so y'all relax. Yeah, I forget the name of the restaurant. Princess, if you're listening, no. It's right at the end of the walk. Because you know how it looks. It's all new over
So I
there.
used to work at the radio station there. It was below was Captain Fishbones.
So you haven't seen all the new apartments and condos?
Tom Brady lived there years ago.
He did.
Yeah, he did. Oh yeah. Jeff, you worked there too, right? Yeah. That was a beautiful station. Beautiful area.
A nice area. Oh God.
Beautiful area.
Yeah, this is Street Team Joe.
What's up, Street Team Joe? How you doing, man? Well, you got a Kennedy story?
Yeah, I actually do. That's why I'm calling in.
All right.
The amount of times that Kennedy was brought up over the weekend was great. Like, me and my friends go back, like, talking about, who you seen at the Kennedy compound recently? Like, the Swifts live right close to the Kennedy compound, too. So,
Really?
one of my friends
didn't know
was
that.
by there, and we're always talking about, like, who we're seeing there and stuff.
I did not know that. Well, I know that Taylor Swift has a spot in Mesquamaket up at Watch Hill, but I did not know the Cape.
Yeah, I think she does have a spot near the Kennedys in Hyannis.
Where did you go in the Cape?
I went to Falmouth, Joe.
Oh, beautiful. Did you get any DJ's wings?
I did eat DJ's wings, and I was thinking of you when I did. DJ's is it's a great spot for wings.
What was real quick, what was the Street Team Joe 4th of July barbecue look like?
Oh, we had burgers. We had chicken. We had hot dogs. We had Doritos, which are going to be banned in Michigan soon, by the way.
What? Where'd he go? Did we lose Joe?
Not intended for
there he is.
The feds didn't want him putting out that information.
It's like the second you said they're going to get rid of Doritos, everything went out. So where else did you go down the Cape?
We went to Falmouth Heights. There was a British beer company that used to be there. I forget what the new restaurant is, but we went there. So it was we had a great time.
Do you have a sunburn?
There was a couple. Do I have a sunburn? Absolutely, Joe.
I knew it.
I'm fat. I'm fat.
we keep losing you, Joe. Street Team Joe works in our street team, but helps out at night. And does graphics and some associate producer work.
I found the spot Marina Bay. I was at Sunset Pier.
Okay,
go there and check it out. I had me a good time. Good time.
It's what it's all about, Leroy. You having a good time.
Amen.
With my fan. I'm going to go on eBay to see if I can get one.
You know what? I would do the same thing. I really want to go get me one.
I got to get you a wedding gift, so I got to work on that. It's probably going to be straight cash, but that could be a story for another show. We can do gifts because I'm probably just going to give you cash. Okay, appreciate it. Liam is in Haverhill. Liam.
Hey, there's a song about Kennedy. It was originally in the Library of Congress called He Was a Friend of Mine, recorded by Ralph Kahn in 1961. Dylan covered it. It was about a homeless person. And then after the Kennedy assassination, the Byrds rewrote the lyrics to associated with Kennedy. He was a friend of mine. Check it out.
Thanks, Liam. This is it? Is this Ben Dylan? Or is this the Byrds version?
The Byrds.
I wish there was somewhere. I hope there's some study. I wonder if anybody in the Cape has done a study to see how much impact the Kennedys had on visitorship.
Now you got me thinking.
I'm sorry for
no. I feel like if NBC Sports Boston, I like NBC. Nesson wants to pay us, and we'll go do it. But I have an association with NBC Sports Boston.
Yeah.
Joe and Leroy do the Cape, or Doonin.
Yeah.
With Joe and Leroy.
I like that.
What do you think?
I like that.
We'll hit up the dunes of the Cape.
Oh yeah.
Let me. We'll start in Falmouth, bro. We'll go all the way to P-Town.
Let me cover the historical side of things.
Yes, and I'll do the food.
And then we come together.
And then we both can just hang out at the beach.
That's a great. No,
Dude,
seriously, that's a great idea.
Listen, I'm telling you, NBC Sports Boston.
And I'm telling you, I love history. I love it.
We could get it sponsored.
Yeah.
You know, like we could. Maybe there's a spot that will.
Or Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
something he might know. I feel like you would have crossed paths with this band at some point in your life.
I probably do know the band, but this probably was that a deep cut?
No. It's not one of their most popular, but they're two brothers.
Joe, I was going to say the Celtics team that we knew for the past 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my God. You need help.
I do.
I'm going to pray.
I do. Thank you. I need help.
The forgiveness of your sins.
I appreciate that. I need it. Yes, the Celtics aren't back. Just to give a couple of notes today, Gary Washburn of the Globe. Mutual interest, Damian Lillard. Here's the pro for me. Pro.
Okay.
Mid-level exception for a year. Maybe you do it again next year when he's back. And you have a point guard who's off an injury. Maybe somebody that could be a companion for Jason Tatum during his Achilles. Could both have an Achilles injury.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting a good player at a very low cost. He will be 36 and 37. The Dame time stuff probably doesn't work here. Those are the cons.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at it, and this is what sucks. This is what sucks, to back up your point about what's gone and what's not coming back. I'm pissed that they broke up a championship team. Money be damned.
I know.
Isn't that what Pag said? Taxes be damned. He wants to be competitive. The Celtics have been competitive for over 10 years here.
Yep.
Going for a playoff. The last time they didn't make the playoffs was 13, I think. So that's one of my pros on it. You're out, though. You're out.
I'm out. The name, I had to be very, very careful because you know how a nice shiny name, can get you excited. And so I hear Dame Dollar, I hear Damian Lillard. I'm like, okay, yeah, I like that name.
He's a great player.
Great player.
But he is aging.
Yeah,
and he's never really been on a good team.
Here's the thing. So what is it? He's 34. He'll be 35 next week. He's 35. He's 6'2". All that's great because he's been a phenomenal player since he's been in the league doing his thing. However, he's coming off an Achilles injury. So I don't know how that's going to impact his performance on the court. That's number one. He's already up there in age. He has the injury. I don't know. Here's the thing. With Dame, I would be cool with it if he was willing, and we don't have the answers about this, but if he was willing to not be a ball-dominant player, forget guard, just a ball-dominant player, and if he somehow magically learned how to or desired to play defense, I think that's a huge, huge problem. If the Celtics, unless they're going away from being a defensive-minded team also, then what's the point?
Oh, they're going away from defense.
Well,
they brought in Luka Garza, who can't defend whatsoever. I think their defensive philosophy is gone. Bro.
Oh, this isn't a good look. Period. Forget Dame Dollar, but if you're going away from defense, Celtics aren't going anywhere. They have to. But again, with Dame, it's like, listen, up there in age, I don't know how he's going to be able to. Can he be as explosive as he once was? I doubt it. I doubt it.
The truth is, they would never be in on him if it wasn't about the money.
Yeah. Right.
This is a money move. That's all it is.
It feels like
the Patriots used to do this all the time, right? Other team would pay him, they'd bring him in, right? Al Horford has 3 options: retire, play for the Warriors, or Denver. I will tell you right now that the Warriors in Denver are better options than the Celtics.
They are.
If he goes to Denver, you could play him at power forward with Jokic or even back up Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're a championship contender. The Warriors, I think he can extend his career. He can set screens and shoot the 3 and be the guy, not play the back-to-backs. Like, they know how to – Steve Kerr knows how to manage him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think Denver's the better option as far as winning a championship.
For Al, yeah.
But if he wants to, fit in and make some money and play for a good team,
yeah,
Warriors are the team.
It just really, really stinks. I think I heard, was it Gasper and Michael Hawley on television? And I might have mentioned this before, but I thought it was such a great point. I'm not a fan of the CBA either, because here we are talking about dollars and cents instead of talking about the players and the teams, how they're constructed. And it's something that we're going to have to deal with. It's almost like, Joe, the Celtics teams are being punished for developing talent.
For drafting and developing and signing.
Yes.
But so
isn't
they
that
signed
the goal?
They signed 2 players in the top 5, top 3, and now they're being punished for it.
Right.
You're right. No, this is
as a Celtics fan, that's such a turn.
So now what you have to hope for is that, in my opinion, I think Derek White's the guy to go.
Mm-hmm.
He's 31. He probably gives you a lot to come back with.
Instead of who?
Well, Jaylen Brown.
Okay, I got you. All right, so between the
you can get rid of Jaylen, you're just not going to get anything that's worth the value. You're going to get out of your money, sure, but now you got a 31-year-old point guard and a guy that's off an Achilles. So, I heard today Anthony Simons might be the guy they move.
Yep.
Brooklyn has cap space. And again, I wouldn't analyze the moves because they're just looking to take a step back. It might be for multiple years. That's what I'm worried about. But today I heard Anthony Simon for Nick Claxton of Brooklyn.
Okay.
He's big.
Yep.
Averaged 11 points, 7 rebounds. They can use that. He's young. He'd play every game. If you're looking to analyze a move, you'd get. And actually, I didn't even look up the money on Claxton. But the thing with Simon is you could keep him and trade him at the deadline, and then you free up that money because you don't have to pay the tax. But I think they need bigs, and Claxton's a young big, and in this league, he signed a 4-year, $100 million deal. Man. They're gonna have to do a very certain crowd for that. I would say. All right, Leroy, we got the final hour coming up, my man.
Dang, that quick?
We've been flying by. So here's to you, Mr. Kennedy. Leroy thinks you're the reason people go to the cave. Doot.
Hey.
All right, we got the final hour of the show here. Leroy Irvin's here. I'm Joe Murray. Jeff helping us out as well. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 90. Zolak and Bertrand. Felger and Maz. Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, so yesterday the Red Sox over the Nationals 10-3. They'll play again today in about 30 minutes, 1:35. According to Gary Washburn of the Globe, the Celtics and Dame Lillard do have mutual interests. The Revs lost to Portland 2-1, and sad news, former Bruin and radio host Lyndon Byers passed away at the age of 61. The Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit catcheslaw.com. I'm Leroy Irvin. Your next update is in an hour.
Get the app.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5, the Sports Hub app. Get the app.
Everybody knows Joe.
It just keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Dre was in it?
You don't need to go down the same road I did.
Oh,
what,
yeah, that's
Mr.
right.
Dre, Mr. NWA,
Yeah.
Mr. AK coming straight out of Compton. Y'all better make way.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
What you say?
I hated it. Yeah, he's just so extra in his raps sometimes.
I'm a Dr. Dre fan.
Oh, big time.
I know that he. My favorite is when he's in the Nicety video. Well, him and Michelet had a relationship, I guess, that didn't go well.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't Suge Knight. But he was in the. Remember the song Nicety? I don't know. Some people think I'm nice.
Oh, yeah. Michelet, yeah.
And he was the rapper in it. He goes in. How's it go? Hey, girl, what you getting into? Yeah, and like he's the guy talking to her, and then Eazy-E's wearing the. That's why Ice Cube said, "Heard you was down with the AK. Now I see you on a video with Michelet.
Oh yeah, that's
looking
right.
like straight bozos. Saw it coming. That's why I went solo. Kept on stomping. Anyways, ring ding. That was in Friday. If you remember,
oh yeah,
they pull up to the convenience store,
mm-hmm.
and Smokey can't stop the car. He's going to use this. Shoot. All right. Well, what was the other sports though? Well, a lot of people want to talk to us.
Okay.
Just a little Red Sox update. Garrett Crochet gets the start today. So they should sweep up the Summer of Story. You see that? Trevor Story. They're giving a big bump over there.
Here we go.
Let's go, Pump. And, the other day, Brian Beaton on the morning show, I said, can you get the song Pumps and a Bump from Hammer, MC Hammer at the time.
He didn't know what it was.
He didn't, but I kept saying Pump and Dump, Pump and Dump.
Yeah.
So we made a song. And Trevor Story is the perfect Pump and Dump candidate.
Trevor Story, to me, his career as a Boston Red Sox sums up what the Red Sox are going through this season. It's just ups and downs. You get told one thing, you like, oh, there's greatness there, but for whatever reason, you don't get it consistently.
All right, just real quick, Crochet on the mound today, and then the Padres are interested in Jarren Duran. I feel like this is just destined to happen. All the outfielders that the Red Sox have in their system. If you got to move one, it's probably him. Yoshida's coming back next week. You know, he's kind of damaged goods, so you can't move on from him. He's probably your DH. So, and then this kid, they call him the password, Yoxton Garcia. He's a right-handed outfielder. Yeah. They don't have any right-handers. It's all left-handers.
So it sounds like the organization's plan is to sell us on potential.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the young guy. Yes.
Yeah, it's just potential.
They've been doing that for years.
Getting excited about potential. Not actual results. Potential. And as a Red Sox fan, I see actual results when I see players like, and I know Bogarts is kind of falling off, but you see players like him. You see Mookie Betts. You're like, man, I remember. Y'all can say how you feel about Devers. If you thought he wasn't a team player and get him out of it, I get it. But at the end of the day, he's one of those guys, and now I got to see him with the Giants. Okay. I don't want to hear about potential no more.
Well, someone asked me to do a traffic report today.
Oh, jeez.
Well, what the hell would I know about the traffic then?
I'll tell you what you need to know about the traffic. I'm not going to say no names, but somebody I know got pulled over. They're out there, y'all, Be on your P's and Q's.
I told you, shooting fish in a barrel.
Oh,
this
they
weekend.
are out there.
All right. Well, we have 2 Kennedy calls.
Oh, God.
And 1 Celtic call. What do we do?
Let's go Celtics first.
Brandon in Boston. Brandon.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I hear you guys talking about Damian Leonard. I'm totally out on him. And, I don't believe Tatum wants another guy rehabbing with him. That's a total no for me. I mean, we're not getting Damian Leonard from his days in Portland, box office Dame. But I just want to give you 2 players that I think make sense for the Celtics, and I'll give you Russell Westbrook. I mean, he's still a decent player. He averaged 13 points. His field goal percentage is 44. He rebounded 4.9. He gave like 6.1 assists.
Yep.
And he reminds me a lot like Hulk Hogan. And I'll say this in this sense. You know how Hulk Hogan's beat up, but you think you got him beat, and every time you hit him, he keeps getting stronger and stronger until he goes berserk and beats the crap out of you?
Uh-huh.
Well, Russell Westbrook's like that. He feeds off energy. And what better than come to Boston with a crowd like us to have a guy feed off the Boston crowd energy, man. He's a natural-born point guard. We need playmaking. He's that guy to do it. And as far as the big man situation goes, you can trade Sam Hauser to the Magic for Goga Batadze, and there you go.
Oh,
but
that guy sucks.
I think Russell.
They all suck. You know what? I'm not analyzing any more picks. Luka Garza sucks. Okay? This why not guy sucks. Everybody they're taking back is just someone that they're going to dump. So, I don't look at any of these guys that they're acquiring. Simon can play. He's not an all-star, but he can play.
Right.
But the thing is, he has $26 million. I'd look into the Claxton thing. But, again, how are you going to get out of the money? You're probably going to have to send, I don't know, you're probably going to have to send Hauser. I don't know. That's the only way they're going to free up. Here's the deal. Here's the deal with the Celtics. They're over the second apron now after moving from Porzingis and Holiday.
Yeah.
So they have to get under the second apron, and they don't want to pay a tax at all, so they're probably going to get under the first apron. The only name I can give you to do that is Derek White. It's the only way.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do it. I don't. But if they can get out of Simon, that's $26 million. You're under the cap now. And the next guy, if it makes sense that it's probably Hauser because it frees up the money.
Yeah. See, me being mellow it's so disappointing. You said at the beginning of the show, man, it really stinks to see this team just getting blown up the way it is.
Just don't tell us it's not about the money. It's about the money.
About the money, period.
Tell us that. Be transparent about it. Yep. Because when Pags was going to buy the team, he said taxes be damned. I'm going to believe him. Yep. When the new guy comes in, what was the word we were trying to figure out? Reduction?
Yeah, reduction.
Now there's a reduction, and here they are. On July 6th, is it July 6th? They're still at the second apron. They've gotten rid of almost 3 of their top 9 players.
Yeah.
Horford's about to go out the door. So 4 of their top 9 is going to be out, and they're still in the second apron? There's more moves to come. It's not good.
Yeah. It keeps parity in the NBA alive, but again, I can see if the Celtics went out their way and bought the championship. What I mean by that is not developing and not through the draft and not developing those players, but they did it the right way. So it really, really hurts to see them have to, break it up like this. As far as the caller was saying about Westbrook, again, I think that's another shiny name that gets you excited simply because of the name. And I'm not taking anything away from him, but just looking at his numbers, to be honest, I really can't give a great take on Westbrook coming to the Celtics until
he can't shoot.
He can't, but then I'm saying, well, what's the philosophy for the Celtics coming up? Is it still going to be throwing up a lot of threes? Yes. Are they moving away from defense? What's
every guy they acquired? And I'm trying not to analyze the guys they acquired. George Niang, 41% 3-point shooter. The guys they've acquired,
right?
Simon, 38% 3-point shooter. How can you not equate those moves with the 3-point philosophy?
Yeah. Westbrook, 32.3% last season.
Woof. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And he's probably one of the best off the dribble guards in history.
Yep.
He was pretty good with Denver last year.
You know
off
what
the
else
bench.
is Wolf? I said 32.3. I believe Brown and Tatum were right around that for the 3-point shot.
Tatum's a better shooter by far. Westbrook's historically a bad shooter. Historically. But as far as getting to the paint, Oh, my God. Still got that speed off the dribble. No. Out.
But again, that makes me wonder, will there be more emphasis on mid-range and getting to the paint for the Celtics
This is why I look at DeMar DeRozan.
Mhm.
All-star, mid-range, just merchant, right? So, I don't know. It's hard to analyze the team this year because all they're trying to do is get under attacks and reset it. So, really, like, can we even look at any of these guys and be like, oh, this guy can do this? No. It's all about waiting around for Tatum. Hey, my take, and I got crapped on for this, was to not play Tatum or Brown and get back into the lottery.
And hopefully be able to pick up someone like AJ.
Next year's draft is huge.
Yeah.
There's 6 guys from high school that are studs. And you mentioned Batanza from Brockton.
Speaking of which, I believe he's going to be on the
BYU.
cover of Men's Health.
Oh, well.
I believe so. His father said, hold on, let me go to his father's text.
Oh, you friends with the old man?
Well, listen, you know.
Let's talk to Larry. He's in Arlington. Larry.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, Larry? You're on the air, bud.
You were talking about Kennedy and the Cape.
Yeah.
I was raised in St. Louis. During Camelot time, my wife and her family were such Kennedy fans that my sister-in-law during the summer got a job as a nanny with a family right outside the Kennedy compound in Hyannisport. We used to drive from St. Louis with a cart station wagon full of little kids and spend a week or two up here on the Cape, all because of the Kennedys.
Wow.
Told you.
And do you still do it or no?
Well, now I live up here, but every time my kids who are scattered all around the country, we go down to the Cape, we say, remember when? This is when we went to Sandy Neck Beach when you could climb on the dunes. And, it was very big nationally, especially my wife's family was a Catholic family. And, there was the picture of the Pope and Kennedy everywhere. And it made a deal.
I told you.
Thank you, Larry.
I told you, man. The Pope and Kennedy. I told you. There are some homes right now here in Massachusetts. If you walk in, you're going to see Kennedy on the wall like he's a family member.
Oh, I know.
It's the truth.
I'm telling you. I'm going soon.
Yep.
And I will have a report.
And real quick, for the record, you were talking about the Celtics possibly tanking for next year's, and I mentioned AJ DeBonsa. He is on Men's Health, the cover of it. The cover came out July 1st, so go to their site, or if you go old school and go to get a magazine, he's there. Support your own.
Sure. There we go. See, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the photo.
Yes. Support your own, right here from Massachusetts.
I haven't talked to this guy in a while. Oh, my phone line is pull up Jimmy and Rozzy. Jimmy!
Hey, Leroy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And the Kennedy stuff will continue. I went to the Kennedy Library when I was in middle school. Good move, Leroy. You're smarter. And that's a good move on your behalf. It's a good thing. I must say that first and foremost.
Thank you.
Be advised, there is a heat advisory in Connecticut, Mass, and Rhode Island. 90-plus here, probably where you guys are, too, so be advised on those elements, gentlemen.
Thank you.
What do we got for birthdays today, Jimmy?
All right, we'll give you a couple. We have Burt Ward, who played Robin the Boy Wonder in the Batman TV series in the 60s. He's 80. Sly Stallone, 79.
Hey.
Kevin Hart has a birthday, 50 Cent, just to name a few. And that is those currently in what we got. And we may have there's one, Fred Dreyer, who was in the series Hunter and the former NFL player. He's 79.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Jimmy, who besides the Pleasant Cafe, who's got the best
great
pizza?
place. Love it.
Who's got the best pizza in the area?
Well, they're one of them, but I've had it so many times, nothing against anything else.
Okay. All right, Jimmy. How you doing?
Thanks.
You good, buddy? You good?
Yeah, I'm hanging in.
All right, man.
It is the summer season, hot and sticky, and be advised, as we just mentioned, on all the other things we just mentioned in the program.
Yes, sir.
You got it. He's Jimmy and Roz.
I like how he's looking out for everybody. That's love right there.
Yeah.
I respect that.
I've met Jimmy.
Good guy?
Rozzy guy.
Okay.
He can remember anything.
Nice.
Big wrestling guy. Wore a Roddy Piper shirt when I saw him. Howard is in Randolph. Hello, Howard.
Randolph.
How you doing, guys?
Hey.
I had a question about the way the aprons work in the NBA and the Supermax contracts. Now, I don't have a problem with players making a lot of money, but I don't know how they arrived at this deal, the latest sequence of contracts where the guys go from like 20-something million to over 60 and 70 million. And that's the reason that it's killing all these teams that have the good players, and they're paying them, but they get
tell
penalized.
you why? So, Howard, what they do is when you get your first contract, right, you're eligible for an extension. So let's say you make like $3 or $4 million. Your extension now kicks in around 20, right? Well, once that happens, and then let's say you make all NBA, you are eligible for this thing called the Super Max, which means that you're one of the highest paid players, and you can only have really 2 of them on a team. Sometimes you can have 3, but the Super Max itself, because the Celtics have drafted so well, they gave Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum the Super Max. So they make $50 million a year.
Right. What determines the amount of the raise?
Awards. So being all NBA, All-Star, finishing in the top 6 or one of the top 3 categories of all NBA. That's really what it comes down to.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for your information.
Yeah, so you have to be good to get it.
Can I just say something? He said he's not mad at players getting the money. I have to be honest. Something about this offseason has made me sick to my stomach about the money.
How about Luke Cornett? Luke Cornett, did it bother you that he makes $10 million a year?
No, that didn't bother me. You know what bothered me was SGA's.
Oh, he's going to make $78 million. Well, but here's the deal. MVP of the league, won a championship.
Yep.
He's got traded from the Clippers to them. He should be a Supermax.
But see, here's the thing. I'm not pocket watching. If there are players out there, get your money. It is what it is. I personally just felt the type of way knowing that SGA next season, for example, he's going to get close to $1 million per game. Now, yes, Joe, he is the MVP. He won a championship.
At the end of his contract, he'll make 78. Not right away. He'll make 78 at one point.
Right. But on average, around 70 a year or something like that.
If you look at the entire deal, yes.
Here's my thing. I'm just saying, I get it. He's the MVP. He won a championship with the team, with the OKC. 70, closing in on 80 mil or whatever it may be. Whatever, 70, between 70 and 75, whatever. I feel as though players should have a bigger impact beyond just the game. Ratings were down for the NBA Finals. I don't get his impact. I'm talking about SGA. Again, get your money. It just feels really, really odd to me that a player is getting that much money and the impact doesn't go beyond the court.
Well, here's the deal. The team has to give him the money. Just like the Celtics had to give Jaylen Brown the money, right?
Right.
You have to give Jason Tatum.
Right.
So in the Thunder are looking at it like we have to give him the money. I mean, they got Chet Holmgren that they drafted. They got the Williams kid. They have other guys that they've been one of the best drafting teams. They make great trades.
And it sounds like they're going to have to go through the same thing that the Celtics. Eventually, it's going to happen.
But here's the deal. They didn't pay a tax last year. The Pacers didn't pay a tax last year. The Pacers won't have Halliburton and just lost Miles Turner.
Yeah.
But yet, every year, Milwaukee will pay a tax. Golden State will pay a tax. This is all about money.
Something's off.
No, it's the David Stern wanted dynasties. The new era, I mean, look at it. Nobody's won back-to-back in 7 years.
It's parity. But then here's my question. I've seen this mentioned a little bit. Why have so many teams been up for sale?
Oh, because they're worth more now. Like the Celtics were bought for what? Something million and then sold for $6 billion.
Right.
The Lakers just sold for $10 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a good investment by Irv Grousbeck if you really look at it.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong. So, are they not looking at the business of the NBA as growing anymore or being more profitable in the future? Is that part of the reason why they're saying, "Hey, yes, right now is a good time to get out because after this, there's a chance we don't see this type of money again." I'm just asking because it just feels. It feels weird. It really, really, something feels off. And I'm not a great money guy when it comes to sports, but just to me, something feels off. Something's not making sense.
Is it smelly?
I have to mention this. This is old school. I get it. But I remember there was a time when Michael Jordan was going year to year for contract towards the end of his career with the Bulls. And he was getting like 30-something million per year. And at that time,
Scottie Pippen wasn't having that.
And at that time, we thought, oh, my God, that's a lot of money. But it made sense because his impact went beyond just what he did on the court. MVP, champion, but he was huge. For me, and maybe it's just me being an older guy, you're the MVP and you win a championship. Beautiful. 70-something million a year, and your impact doesn't go beyond the court?
Just so you know, it's going to happen to Tatum and Brown, too.
I get it. Get your money. I just wished more money meant the impact was just as powerful.
I'll wrap up this take. For years, the players ran the league.
Yeah.
Now the commissioners trying. It's like Goodell. They're now letting the owners run the league. And the owners are going to say who they want to pay and who they don't. And that's where we're at. All right, we'll take a quick break. Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath's final moment. And we have calls galore here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
Possible for us to live a lifestyle we live. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. I love you. We love you. And it's a song called Paranoid.
Come on! How about Ozzy Osbourne? You know Black Sabbath?
I know of Ozzy Osbourne because of the show, the reality show.
That was the first reality show I ever watched.
Yeah. More so because of that than his music. But I knew of his music.
I think Ozzy still has it in the voice.
Really?
His voice isn't completely gone, I don't think.
He's got it a little. That's probably why it's their last show. So who played? I saw everybody. I saw
play?
Slash there. I saw Tool. Oh, nope. Of course, Ozzy has
As soon as I go to lower it down, too.
I was sorry. It's what happens when we play live music. Anyways, Ozzy and Black Sabbath no more. I did watch Ozzy open up for the Patriots one year, playing Crazy Train. Nice. You know the song Crazy Train? Going off the rails on a crazy train? You've heard that.
I've heard that, yeah.
Shout out to Black Sabbath and Ozzy. I feel like AI would take out, like, Ozzy could just be like a sound in AI. Literally. I think, like, we could just have AI Ozzy growing up, like, for going on forever. Oh, you missed it. We did a whole AI show a couple of weeks ago. There's this app that you can just, like, type things into and they'll make a song for you.
Oh, God.
And one of them was Lift Schatz got kicked out of the casino, I think it was. And it was perfect.
Really?
Leroy. It was. Is this it? Oh, yeah, here it is. We made this in AI in 30 seconds. Yeah. But I think AI Ozzy could be a thing, but this is AI Lift Schatz, a song for him.
At a casino in Connecticut, but he got banned. He called up the commissioner. He asked him what the deal was. He said, I don't know. And then he told the story on the radio, and they laughed at him. Dan Lift Schatz got banned from the casino.
Yeah, Dan Lift Schatz got banned from the casino. And he did talk about it on the radio.
Oh, my God. AI?
He's a gambling man they couldn't understand.
That he got banned. I love that part, too. Dan acting up or drunk? Whoa. I don't know if he drinks anymore. But yeah, this is an AI song. I'll give you the app if you want it.
I'm all set. I'm not a fan of
No,
AI.
it's gonna take over our lives.
I know, and it's already seeping into sports.
I think you could do that better at your home right now in one of your.
Nah, I'd rather. Aren't we worried about not having the sense of pride and accomplishment of doing things if we let AI do it all?
I don't want AI to do anything for me.
Yeah,
but I will tell you this: if you own a tech company, oh baby, it's really good.
My bankroll boys get wild.
This one too.
We only roll the dice with piles. And if you got the funds, you can come with us. Yeah, you know the bankroll boys are wild. And my bankroll boys are up. 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 We only come around to get paid. We go all in until it's all
I'm shocked.
Yeah, all you have to do is like rap song about Leroy and Joe.
Might as well do it
I'll wait. Maybe next time.
Next time.
Let's talk to Steve in Peabody. Steve!
What's up, boys? Happy 4th of July weekend here.
You too. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Listen, I got two quick things. Several years ago, I went to Memphis in August for Elvis's, death, and I waited over 2.5 hours with some friends that I work with to go up to his gravesite, and then we took a tour the next day of his place. And then another thing with JFK is after the assassination, for many years, and I don't know if it's still there, but for many years, below the White House, the car that he was assassinated in was down below it. So those are two quick stories. And Leroy, thank you very much for that history lesson.
Oh, yeah.
About Abraham Lincoln.
Yes, sir.
Really great.
Yes, sir.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Steve. You're the man.
As far as the car he's talking about that Kennedy was assassinated in, they did not decommission that car for years. It was still used. They cleaned it up and kept using it. And I believe now it is in the Ford Motor Museum, I believe in Detroit. You can the limo that he was in and assassinated in is in the museum.
Do you have a theory on how he got killed? You don't have to share it. Do you have one though?
Yes, but it's always evolving.
I went to Catholic school. Do you know what they taught us in Catholic school? Single bullet theory.
I hate that theory. The one where it does like a zigzag?
Multiple.
Yeah.
One bullet.
I hate that.
The recent files make you think that the man driving the car did it.
Who knows? Or somebody was.
We are not taking theories.
In the grassy knoll, shooting from up there.
Oh, God. This is opening up a can of worms right now, but if you look into Lee Harvey Oswald, I don't know. I don't know.
And then you got to think about the man that shot him.
And then that one.
And his connection.
And then what was his connection? Yeah, exactly. And then you got to go to the mob museum.
This is why, to me, history.
You got to take? He's not talking. I can't hear you. Oh, okay, there he is. Nope, one more. No,
I just made an AI song of you and Leroy talking sports. It's funny how
let's play it after.
Okay.
Let's,
my God.
Let's talk to Andrew in the Seaport. Andrew.
Hey, so we've all been talking about the Celtics and what we need to do to get under the second apron, the first apron, and everyone's talking about who we should be moving. I think people are missing the point of who we should be getting and focusing on, and I know he was just moved. We need to go back to the man, the myth, the legend, Kelly Olynyk.
I've heard this one a few times. The only reason, the main reason why I'm against it is that, we've already been there.
He plays
but
for
that's
the,
not
he
not
plays
a good
for the
enough
Wizards.
Yeah.
That's where everyone's going to die right now. No. It's just, sure, fine. It's another message that they're not going to be competitive.
I know.
They're not going to be competitive. Yeah, but Joe, Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, and Jaylen Brown, you should still be like a 5th or 6th seed. They don't care. All they care about is getting under the tax and resetting the tax. Yep. That's all they care about. And then they care about next year when Jason Tatum's healthy. That's all they care about. Don't look into the moves they make or any of that. They have to make the moves to get out of the cap situation and apron situation. As far as being a competitive team, I'm not buying it.
I know. Me either.
That sucks.
Sad. It does. I'm genuinely sad because it feels like you have nothing to look forward to this upcoming season. Maybe the development of players, if you find that exciting. Yeah. But it's about championships. It's about contending and not next season.
I would like to see more of Baylor Shireman. I would. But, I don't know. Are they going to be competitive in that case? No. Luka Garza, I loved him in college, but, the guy's a stiff defensively. The Minot kid I'm kind of interested in because he's a high energy, but, all the other I can't analyze this team. I can't do it right now. They're not. This isn't a team.
Right.
This reminds me of that Brooklyn trade they made, and it was the sad press conference. Remember?
Yeah.
Have they announced any of these guys at a press conference yet? I wish Pags took over.
You know where I am confident though in the Celtics? It's because you got that guy Brad Stevens doing what he got to do. I believe he'll figure it out.
I agree. To this second right now, this isn't a team.
Yeah.
They're just trying to be more flexible financially. Dan's in Jamaica Plain. Dan.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
Great job all week. Hey, I have a couple of suggestions for pizza in the Roslindale, Jamaica Plain area in West Rocks. First of all, Christo's, West Roxbury, the Christo Special, fantastic, which is a Greek-style pizza, and it's a more important question. Why does a small Greek pizza taste better than a large Greek pizza? And lastly, Mario's Pizza, Jamaica Plain, fantastic.
Yeah, Christo's Zarda. I was always like a Dino's guy in West Roxbury. West Napoli used to be great too, but they're gone. Tony's. Go to Tony's, the best slices in town. But there is something about a small pizza being better than a large. I don't know what it is, but I agree.
I think it's because all the flavors are closer together.
Yeah. What was your spot? No. I'm in on that.
Yeah, so when you take a bite, chances are you're going to bite a lot of things because they're all smushed on a smaller piece.
It's smaller.
Then, yeah.
What was your spot growing up? Stashes? Is that around?
I hated Stashes. I hate everything that they stand for.
Me too.
And stood for. My favorite pizza place? That's a good. I was all over the place.
I used to go to 5 Star.
I was all
at like 2 a.m. after the Blarney Stone or
New York Pizza.
Oh yeah, New York Pizza's legit.
Oh yeah, New York Pizza's legit.
But like, if you got a delivery to the house, where is it coming from?
I don't know, man. Where do I?
It's a 5 Star.
Is it 5 Star on
Fields Corner? Yeah, Fields Corner, Dorchester. Yeah.
Not Morrissey Boulevard.
It's on.
Is it Neponsit?
South. What's that street that goes into South Boston? Dorchester Ave.
Geneva
Ave.
Geneva Ave. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to go there. I used to hang at the Blarney Stone, which is the bar that was there.
Which is gone now.
And then the Emerald Isle was open till 2 a.m. So Jeff, that's what we did. We'd go to the Blarney till 12:50 because you didn't want to be stuck at the Blarney. And then right next door was the Emerald Isle, but across the street was 5 Star Pizza. And dude, you could get pizzas after the bar. Oh
yeah.
I'd eat them on the field. I'd eat them on the Fields Corner bench at 2 a.m. with all the panhandlers out there.
See, we had a Domino's right next to the bar in Andover that we used to go to.
The thing with Domino's though is they aren't flipping up slices though.
No, you'd have to
gotta
get
wait
like
for your
a
pizzas.
whole one.
Yeah. All right. Well, you have a song for us? We'll play that on the other side. We'll wrap this bad boy up. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
You've got to try the new burgers at the Nines. Bigger, bolder, and beefier. Our half-pound, 100% American Angus beef is sure to please. Try the new bourbon onion burger and get more ang for your buck. You gotta love the Nines.
Tired of high energy bills? At High Efficiency Energy Solutions, our experts will evaluate your home's energy efficiency and recommend cost-effective weatherization solutions at no cost to you. From insulation to smart thermostats, we've got you covered. Call and schedule a no-cost home energy assessment to start saving today at 774-205-2001 or visit us online at highefficiencyenergysolutions.com. That's highefficiencyenergysolutions.com.
Life can be difficult.
Horse dear, dear. Front row with the show, shed a tear. We don't talk about sports here. 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 Bleach the seats, seeing players move the sticks. Been all about the games, never focused on the kicks. They tryna show me teams, but I ain't seeing pics. Leroy said you only talk sports with the chicks. What's up, what's happening? Don't make me stop snapping. In a huddle with a jersey, we got a game plan. And you can't call me sway, and I ain't the laid back one. We don't talk about sports here. We don't talk about sports here. We don't talk about sports here. We don't talk about sports here.
Well, there's your AI Joe and Leroy show, I guess.
That made me extremely uncomfortable. I'm not a fan. It's good. I'm not a fan of AI stealing from places on the internet to create a song for us.
Jeff, what did you type in?
I just typed in a rap song Joe and Leroy talking about sports.
And then the chorus is, we don't talk about sports.
Yeah.
Oh, more, huh?
The remix.
Just as earlier in the show here, just to recap, we mentioned Trevor Story's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
He had a 430-foot home run. Red Sox lead 4-0 on Garrett Crochet Day.
And Trevor Story fans, Red Sox fans, will tell you, hey, that's great, but he's not consistent. He's underachieved.
Dump. We got a couple more minutes here, Leroy. Is there anything you would like to discuss, sports world? If not sports. Well, we got into the Celtics, Lillard, Horford, Simon, Red Sox, Durant trade stuff. Crochet Day today. We mentioned the passing of Lyndon Byers, who was a mainstay on the radio here, but also former athlete. We paid our respects. What else, man? Not much going on with the NFL. Patriots. NFL season starts 60 days from today. Not much going on there.
Well, since you mentioned that with football, I'm trying to see if you've healed from this yet. The NFL Network was playing random Super Bowls, and of course they put on the Patriots and the New York Giants. I actually watched, and that's the first time I've watched that game since that game.
What was your biggest takeaway?
The obvious, which was, man, the Giants' defensive line was just
they shredded the pass.
That was the difference. That was the difference of the game.
Mine was, and I brought this up before, they were in Giants territory, went for it multiple times on fourth down. The reason when they let go of Adam Vinatieri, they had a rookie kicker. And I know Gus Gossky was very good, very good. But you had a Hall of Fame kicker. That was money, right?
Yep.
There were multiple 40-yard field goals they could have kicked. They didn't because they were afraid of the rookie. And that stood out to me. Right? Yeah. Like you in 2006, they went with no wide receivers, right? They still made it to the AFC Championship game, but they lost because their defense couldn't slow them down. It was, and Peyton Manning finally reached his,
Right.
So I tip my cap about 2006. They blew it. But I tip my cap to Manning. He battled back. I tip my cap. And they went on to win the championship. 2007, though, the defense looked old. But, yeah, it was that defensive line, no doubt.
That hurt. And, again, I was a punk when it came to that game. Anytime you would show highlights or the game, I was running. I couldn't press to switch the channel quick enough. And I would always have this feeling of sickness deep down in the pit of my gut. And I still feel it, but I had enough nerve to actually sit there and watch it. And it is what it is.
We rolled a victory blunt.
There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Cut your energy bills without sacrificing comfort. Upgrade your home with Bruin Remodeling and their energy-efficient windows.